We're live. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Go away. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another 42 Level 1. I'm one of your hosts, Alistair Kennedy, and here with me, as always, is the former Twilight Princess of former Twilight Princess of all games, current Twilight Princess of YouTube, the former CEO of Xbox, the man of many names, but we just call him one, Andy.
Call me King of Halo.
No. Well, I'll call you King of Hole. The hole. The butthole. That's you. Yes. I just get finished watching Venom 2, man. Fucking
Nice, how was it?
really, it's the film they wanted to do in the first one, and I don't know why they just wouldn't go all out. And if obviously the first one introduced other symbiotes, but why they wouldn't have just made it Carnage in the first one and started here? Like, fine, whatever. The first one's still a great film. This one I think's better because of the way they handle Carnage. I really think that was my biggest worry because I already knew they had Eddie Brock down. I thought, I'm not Tom Hardy's biggest fan and everything, but I think he nailed Eddie Brock. He's got that sort of crazy, kooky, schizophrenic sort of attitude when he's got Venom, but before that he's kind of just this. He's not a meathead like in the cartoon. You know how he was kind of a meathead in the cartoons? I've never seen Eddie like that from the comics. I've always seen him as kind of I screw everybody, I just want to get this story sort of guy kind of thing, you know, and I don't care who I fucking piss off. Like the way I podcast sometimes. Like, fuck this, I just want to get the job done. That's kind of what I see Eddie as, and I think Tom Hardy nailed that. And when the symbiote bonds with him in the first one, because I know you've not seen it, it kind of changes him, and Tom Hardy plays it perfect. And then in this one it's more of the same, but the biggest worry was handling Carnage, because how the fuck do you do that? Like, they made it happen. Like, I seen fucking Carnage in live action, which I never thought would ever happen, the way that they've handled Venom in the past. So yeah, like, and then obviously there's do you know this? Do you know the spoilers? Do you know what happens at the end of this film? Do you know the?
I have seen glimpses of the end credit scene where he's watching the TV. I've seen that.
So okay, so that's the big spoiler. Like, I always hypothesized. I always said this film does nothing to disturb the main MCU. Like, I don't even see the need for the timeline to do this. Because
I don't know how he gets there, to be fair, but like, I know there's a TV he watches.
I wouldn't tell you how he gets there has nothing to do with the TVs watching and stuff. So basically they're there, but Venom doesn't need to fly, remember. I'll just say that. He can go wherever the fuck he wants, but like, they have to go there for a reason, and I won't spoil that. But I always said in the first film, like, this could easily just be San Francisco. Most of the MCU is based around New York, most of it. This is like the other side, so like, this could easily have happened. I think it was done on purpose. And when they got the reactions, like, Venom got good reviews, like, it made quite a lot of money in the box office from what I know, and Venom 2's had even better reviews. Get down, Bond, buddy, go and eat your food. And yeah, the end credits. So spoilers, if you don't want to hear it, go away just now, because I'm not going to spoil the main movie. But this is now officially MCU, Andy, like 100%. Basically, Venom's about to tell Tom Hardy something, and I don't want to tell you what he says, right? So I'm kind of keeping this spoiler free as well. But there's like a ripple, and the hotel room changes, and Venom goes, "That wasn't me." And then on the TV, J. Jonah Jameson comes on, and Venom stands up, and it's as if he recognises it, because Tom Holland's wanted a Spider-Man, and it's as if he recognises him, and he looks at the TV, and he goes, "That guy." And like, then a guy comes out and goes, "What are you doing in my room?" to Eddie, and he's sitting on the floor like, I don't know. So Doctor Strange's multiverse things happened right there, but what Venom said just before that to Eddie, this may not be true, this is just me guessing, so it's not really a spoiler. This Venom could have met Spider-Man before. We don't know that. In another universe. What is it? Multiverse. Yeah. So he potentially could have, or has knowledge of what a Spider-Man is, because Tom Holland's just a Spider-Man now. So this is 100% MCU, which means that obviously Morbius. Like, what they've done is they've linked it this is what happened in the comics. They did the big Convergence event, or Ultimatum, sorry, at the end of the Ultimate line. Basically killed off every other Ultimate character and kept Miles Morales. Like, that's all they did it for. They're like, Miles is too cool to kill off. We'll just merge the universes. They kept Ultimate Reed Richards for a while, I'm sure, as well. But like the main thing was to Ultimate Reed Richards was the guy
he was a bad guy.
Yeah,
he
he's
was
got
like
like
a bird.
pointy like mad face mask thing. He went crazy, like a backwards, like an alien head mask almost. That's what it looks like. So yeah, but basically it was to keep Miles, and this is kind of. I said to you as well, I think the title No Way Home is more than just the title. I think it means Tom Holland at the end of this is stuck in the Sonyverse. He's not coming back to MCU. I think this is their way of leaping in, giving all the Marvel Cinematic Universe fans a taste of all the Sony villains, and then going, "Ooh, now come and watch our movies." That's what I think's happening. That's what I think No Way Home means. I think Tom Holland by the end of the film is going to be like, I'm never getting back, am I? And he realises that he's all alone, as Spider-Man should be. I think the best Spider-Man is the Spider-Man that can't just pick up the phone and call Captain America for help. I think the best Spider-Man is the one that no one knows who he is. I think the best Spider-Man is the one that doesn't really know what he's doing, that's clever, that fails to pay bills, that struggles with his relationships, that just, you know, like that sort of guy. And that's not the Spider-Man we've had. And people said that Andrew Garfield was too cool. If you watch the way that Tom Holland speaks to like the bodega owner about his daughter, like he's got a hot aunt and he's like, how's your daughter and stuff, like he's acting kind of like Andrew Garfield did, which is based around the Ultimate Spider-Man. So I don't understand why Tom Holland's not getting the criticisms Andrew Garfield got, because Andrew Garfield to me is a much better Spider-Man.
Because it's because like I was watching a bit of Far From Home earlier today actually, and like in that movie he acts like a nervous wee douchebag. Like he's nervous, even in Spider-Man.
I'm talking about like the first Spider-Man movie, like Homecoming.
Yeah, no, and
he's acting like a douchebag.
Yeah, but like the second one, they toned it back, like
slightly because he's still standing with his top off with a girl and all the guys, and like I'm not buying it. Like, but anyway.
I get what you're saying though, like about taking his kind of support network away from him, because he does have too much. He's got his aunt, he's got Happy, he's got you had Tony Stark, he's gone now.
Falcon, are you still Cap? Yeah, come and help me. Okay, Peter.
Captain America gone. But then you've still got all the other Avengers. Doctor Strange, like it's obviously a big part in the next movie.
Yeah, you
like,
can just put him up. Look at this new movie. Hi, Doctor Strange. Yeah, I don't want anyone to remember. Can I come round to your house? Yeah, okay, come on in, Peter. Don't mind the snow. Let's just get this fixed with a spell. He shouldn't have access to Doctor Strange. Spider-Man should have his own set of villains. Like, if you look at the Marvel Universe, take away the X-Men, but as a singular character, Spider-Man, Peter Parker, Miles Morales has got a back catalogue as well, but not as rich. But like Peter Parker's got the biggest threats to deal with. He's got enough that he doesn't need to be parts of teams. I think he should interact with teams, specifically X-Men, because I loved that in the cartoon. But like, I think like he shouldn't just be able to call the Avengers or be like the Avengers side bitch basically anytime. Like that's what I've hated about this. So I'm kind of excited the way that this seems to be going, that Sony's pulling him back. They've built a great Venom. The Morbius trailer looks excellent, even though I'm not a Michael Morbius fan. There's much better villains. They need to nail right. In my head, like, Lizard's fine. I don't know if they're going to keep Risa fans or they're going to redo it. I never had a problem with Lizard. Jamie Foxx.
The design is the same from the trailer. 100%.
Yes, so that's fine. No, I mean going forward in Spider-Man movies in the Sonyverse. So like they've got that. They can clearly call in Doc Ock if they need to, or recast him, because now the multiverse is a thing. Like any Marvel movie or Marvel property, be it Sony or Marvel or Universal for the Hulk, they can now just go, yeah, this is a new actor playing Bruce Banner because multiverse.
Different Hulk.
Different Hulk. That's all they need to do now. So. They've got a good setup. I would like to think though that Miles is a whole different conversation, but I would like to think that there's going to have to be a way for, as much, even though I've just said that, Disney ain't just going to give away Spider-Man like that. They're not just going to let him completely go. I think maybe for a year or two we're not touching Spider-Man. That's why we've had like Shang-Chi and his visit to Claire's accessories for bracelets. That's why we're getting like the Eternals. That's why like we're getting all these new characters. And say what you like about Shang-Chi, I've never read them in the comics, and I've read them since I was 4. Like, and I guarantee you've not read that much of them, even though you touch the fringe edges of the Marvel universe a lot because you like the weird characters.
I've never read a
There you go.
Shang-Chi comic.
There you go. But this is what I mean. They're
Or
plucking.
Eternals.
Do you know why they're plucking these characters? I've came across Eternals a few times, but it's when Spider-Man went cosmic. But like, see, these heroes that we're bringing in is to change it, because people for the past 15 years, isn't now the MCU's been about 10 years, say. So at least for the past
13 years, I think. Yeah.
for the past decade, everyone's used to Cap, Thor, Black Widow. You know, and yeah, sure, we're getting Natalie Portman as Thor in the next one, but like, they're shaking it up. They have to change the core group. But what they've got to realise as well is, like, not just Spider-Man, and sorry, this is a video game podcast, but Thor doesn't always just show up at the Avengers beck and call. But in these movies he has. Like, he doesn't, like, Thor's got much more shit of his own to deal with that we need to get back to. Never mind fat comedy Thor. Keep the funniness. Obviously it's going to Natalie Portman now, but like, there's more things in Asgard. There's the 9 realms to take care of, not just Earth. Oh, there's Steve giving me a call, a bit ahead down there. You know, like, and I know there's other stories too. I've seen I've seen all the movies, but Sasha, give it a break, pal. Like, you don't see Thor with Avengers all the time. Ant-Man's got more things he could do. There's much more to Ant-Man, as you attest to as well. Iron Man I couldn't give a fuck about, sorry Ian, but like, no one really does or did before the movie apart from you. Iron Man's a boring fucking character. I'm actually looking forward to Ironheart. So like, Falcon, the worst thing is Captain America with Falcon. Again, Captain America's got like villains to a point, but there's only so many times he can fight Bartok before it comes boring. But like, who the fuck are they going to let Falcon fight that's going to be believable? Because he's not a super soldier. I don't think he's got legs. Like, Falcon, he needs to be a superhero. And the Hulk, like, they need to work out something with the Hulk, because
She-Hulk. That's what they're doing. They're doing She-Hulk.
Right, never mind She-Hulk, because no one really cares about that outside
much
you.
more
Right?
interested than that.
No,
mate,
right.
That
Fine.
show is going
Fine.
to be...
Ally McBeal with abs, right? But what you need to think about is, look at what we had with the Hulk before, like ripping in half things, throwing cars and shit, and now we've got dabbing with kids. Like, get that to fuck. And I know we had that trailer at the end of Shang-Chi, so they're now no longer one. We need to go back to like, Hulk can't control himself. Hulk running through buildings, and I don't mean like Avengers buildings. I mean like, Hulk should go back to the almost horror story aspect of it, like Edward Norton's movie where he was trying to control it and his eyes were going green. Like, he needs big threats again. Like, we've had 2 Venom movies with more symbiotes than I know what to do with, but we've only had 1 Abomination since the Hulk started. It's like, come on, sort that Universal shit out and get the Hulk done properly. Like, he's got other villains as well. Like, why are we not using the fact that it was a way to bring Sakaar down to earth? Like, give me World War Hulk. Give me that whole World Breaker Hulk thing. Like, do more. Like, you don't have to rely on gods all the time like Thanos. Alright, who can we go to next? Thanos' grandpa? No, fuck that. Give me actual threats that can break the world, like Hulk, like Thor. Give me Beta Ray Bill fighting Thor for a movie. I don't care. Like, give me Space Goat Thor. Like, not that I asked for it, but Silver Surfer and Galactus, I think it's inevitable, but I know they've got a lot on their plate.
I want to see Red Hulk fight the Hulk. I think that'd be awesome.
Give me Red Hulk.
They've got Ross in there already. Like, they should do that. I would love to see the leader. Like, the leader's already in the universe. They already powered him up. Like, they made the character and they gave him the power, but they just didn't ever bring him back. So he's still around.
Yeah, he's still there. It's all connected.
He's got a big head somewhere. He's doing something.
Yeah, but I mean, like, they need to do more. I know they want to get X-Men done as soon as possible. You know that, and so does every Marvel fan. Even though they say it's not in the cards, they need to get the X-Men done. If they've not already cast the X-Men in secret, then I'd be very surprised. Fantastic Four as well needs done, because they need to capitalise on these big properties as soon as fucking possible. Like, never mind, bring back Daredevil. Again, no one gives a shit about Daredevil, really. Charlie Cox, yeah, he gave a good portrayal, but no one gives a shit about Daredevil. No one does.
I would love to see him come back in the She-Hulk TV show, like, as a lawyer.
Rumours are that Charlie's going to be in the courtroom.
Supposedly he's going to be in Spider-Man as well.
I've heard Hawkeye as well. I've heard Hawkeye, Spider-Man, and that's why they're not telling you when Hawkeye's set. All they've said is Hawkeye's after Endgame.
Yeah. I mean, it's at Christmas time. We know it's Christmas time. Like, there are Christmas trees and stuff in it. So that's out tomorrow, so I'm looking forward to that. I went to see the Eternals yesterday.
You said it was okay.
It was okay. I've seen it's got panned online, absolutely panned. But I wouldn't say it's a bad movie, but it's definitely not a good movie. It's one of the weaker MCU movies for sure. There are big stakes in it though, and world-changing events happen in it that will affect the whole MCU going forward. There is a lot of story about Celestials. So if you don't know what those are,
Watch
be
Guardians of the
prepared to
Galaxy
fucking
1.
learn. Oh my god, there's way more than that. Like they go on and on and on about them in this movie.
Yeah, but watch Guardians
I,
of the Galaxy 1 as an intro because, and then watch Guardians of the Galaxy 2 right after because you get
yeah,
Ego. Is Ego a Celestial?
Ego is a Celestial in the
Yeah.
MCU. Yes, yes. So is
And you've got
Thanos.
Nowhere. Thanos
And
isn't
Nowhere.
really a Celestial.
He is in the MCU.
Is he? No.
Yes. So
I wouldn't
like
class
in
him
a
as
in a
one. I
way,
would.
he's a Celestial with a deviant gene. Sorry. He's an Eternal
Why
with a
is he so
deviant gene.
small?
Not a Celestial.
Oh, he's not a
an
Celestial.
Eternal.
Right.
He's
Yeah,
an
he's a
Eternal.
son of Celestial or offspring of a Celestial. Or something.
Some weird. But yeah, there's a character who I don't know how spoiler
It's Harry. What's his face?
you
Plays
want to be.
Rapey McRapeface.
Yeah, Harry Styles is in this movie, and he
As
plays
Thanos'
Thanos'
brother.
brother, Eros, who is Star Fox in the comics. Who, yes, as you said, does there is a bit of a weird one in the comics where he has to go to court.
He's like Mantis,
She-Hulk,
right?
She-Hulk has to
But
defend
makes
him.
Mantis. Imagine Mantis just made everyone have sex with him. That's what he does.
I mean, he's got other powers as well. Like he can fly and like he's super power and whatnot. But yeah, he exudes a sort of love pheromone that makes people fall in love with him. And
Male
yeah,
and female and alien and anything.
yeah, whatever. He doesn't care. He's kind of like what's it? He also doesn't care about relationships or anything. He's like polyamorous. Basically,
Do you know what? He's
just
Peter
like,
Quill with better powers.
pretty much, yeah. But he got in big trouble and he got pulled out of court from like I can't remember what the court was, but it's like the big court
Supreme
up in
Court.
space. The
Oh,
big Supreme Court in
yes.
space, yeah. I forget what it's called. It does have a name, but I can't remember what it's called. And Jennifer Walters had to go and defend him, and it was basically because he had slept with one or more women on Earth, and they were like, "Did you use your love power on me? Was I doing this of my own free will, or were you coercing me to do this?" Which is a very it was a very risky sort of subject. Oh, the hard times! I ordered some.
Black Friday,
Yeah.
man. Like I got.
Here next week.
Obviously, we don't get paid, but hey, Mike, if you want to send me some of yours, 24 cans or something. Like that's basically £1 a can. Can't argue with that, man. They come in wee individual. You get 4 boxes of 6. You've
Right.
got lime, black cherry, and raspberry. Now these are the best tasting ones, so I don't think these are as good for you as the ones I had like a couple of weeks ago. But these are the tastiest ones.
I ordered what one
The
was
watermelon, was it
I think
the
Yeah,
12,
watermelon.
12 cans for £13? You cannot argue with
Yeah,
that,
yeah.
man.
Yeah, I ordered
So,
them. Yeah. So
are you going to give us a
I'll-
review in the show next week?
next week? They'll be here. I'll have one on the show, maybe.
Have more than one.
Um,
Because you don't have a hangover? Well, here's the thing, right? You don't wake up with a sore head because there's no dehydration.
but yeah, the Eternals. I didn't mind it, but it wasn't a great movie. The ending of it was really good. I enjoyed that, and the end credit scenes were good. There's I don't know if you know the second end credit scene.
Tell
Second
me.
end credit scene was
I'm not
interesting.
bothered about spoilers at this point.
So they introduce a character called the Black Knight. He gets introduced.
Like Batman?
No, the Black Knight.
Never heard of him.
He's a guy in a suit of armor that has a black sword. And the
Oh, is that Null?
the sword.
That sword
no,
is
not-
Null sword.
Yeah.
If that's who I'm thinking about, which ties in with
It's a-
symbiotes.
Yes, it's like a black sword and it cuts
Right.
through anything, right?
So I'll tell you something right now. See what you've just said there confirms a guy that was leaking on Reddit that said the Black Knight is going to show up with Null's sword. Null is the king of the symbiotes, and he had this big long theory. Remember that night I was watching YouTube, and he basically said the way that because Venom's now MCU, it's like why all of a sudden is Venom MCU? It's obviously for No Way Home. There's no other reason for that cutscene at the end of Venom because they could have just waited and let Spider-Man meet him when Spider-Man crossed
Yeah.
over. But instead, what they've done is they've moved Venom to MCU by the end of this movie. So
Yeah.
why would they put Venom in MCU before No Way Home unless they needed him in No Way Home? Right?
Exactly.
But not
Right.
just that. Venom might stick around for a bit longer, is what I've heard, because they've got that the null sword, the black sword, can be used to absorb things and take powers and stuff, and it's tied in with the guy because null was something to do with the Celestials. I'm sure he killed a Celestial out of boredom because he was being too dark, and he ended up creating the symbiotes. This was a whole story. It's quite recent. Have you read it? No, it's
I've read the one. I've read a bit of that guy in
armor. Like,
yeah. I've read a bit of that because one of the Venom
like
stories that I was reading
guitarist
talked about that. Yeah. One of the Venom stories, it was like about all the Venoms and all the symbiotes, and they were all connected and all that shit.
This is kind of ticked one of the boxes for this guy's theory, though, that they've brought the sword in because they're going to go down that route of Attack of the Symbiotes or Planet of the Symbiotes or something, because that's where I would go next with Venom, is Planet of the Symbiotes, because you've already got Carnage. I don't want to spoil anything, but I'll tell you. Sorry, I want to go back to Venom because do you know what? I was watching it. I was like, how the fuck do I know this guy? How do I know this actor? And I was like, oh, I know how it is. It's me belt Turkish. And I'm like, I cannot see you. And the guy's a prominent character. The guy's a prominent Venom character. He's kind of newer than Carnage, but he's a anti-hero, kind of. And I'm like, I can't. You were fine up until I realised that you're Tommy the Tit. Like, and like, see when he was, there was a part where he's lying, right? Sorry, there's a church. There's always a church in Venom because they always have to get the church bells in, as you know. There's a church bell in most movies with Venom in it. And he's lying there on the scaffolding, the guy, Tommy. And all I heard when it zoomed up was golden brown texture like sun in my head, and it was like, Tommy, the tit is prime, and if he isn't, he fucking should be. And I'm like, he's not even, he's got a spot on American accent, but now that I've figured out who you are, I can just see you like trying to buy a Boris the snaky fucking Russian. That's all I heard. I can't see him in anything else.
But anyway, I need to tell you the other part of that end credit scene, right? Because the guy has the sword and he's like, "Oh, should I use it? It's so mysterious," and it's kept in a box, a family heirloom sort of thing, because it's handed down from like his uncle or his grandfather or whatever.
His Uncle Venom. His Uncle
the Black Knight is like I forget his name. In this movie, the guy's name's Dane. I mean, he's played by Jon Snow from Game of Thrones. So obviously he needs to be a night guy.
All right, Dave.
Makes sense with a guy with a sword. But like his ancestors have all been like the Black Knight and they've passed this down. But the Black Knight's basically like a guy in a suit of armor that carries this fucking cool sword. Anyway, there's a voice off screen that talks to him and basically tells him that he should think twice about using swords. But do you know who the voice off screen is?
Venom.
No, Blade. First appearance of Blade.
It's
but
Blade.
You don't
How do you know
see
it's
him
Blade?
because it's Mahershala Ali's voice. Blade's voice. They also mentioned vampires at one point in this movie, and they mentioned them in Loki as well. Vampires.
Morbius is a good way of bringing vampires, especially if see at the end of Morbius they get the same boom that they get in Venom.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So like Blade has started doing shit now, which is cool.
I'm sure there's something to do with his sword. Let me see. Black Knight, Marvel, sword. No.
But there's a lot of Celestials. Also, Pip the Troll is in this movie. Like in the end, Pip the Troll. Do you remember Pip the Troll? What a weird fucking character he is.
No.
But it's very strange because he's played by Patton Oswalt, who's already been in the MCU as 4 different characters, and then Pip the Troll.
Right. So basically, Black Knight is the opposite of Thor. That's what this says.
Okay.
So
Sure.
Marvel's Black Knight has always had a weird selection of powers, combining his enchanted sword, the Ebony Blade, with bleeding edge scientific know-how that allows him to clone his own winged horses and design gadgets that have, at times, made him an Avengers level hero. But when he faced Null, who's King of the Symbiotes, the King in Black, he learned the deep dark truth of his abilities. So yeah, he's definitely got a tie. So this guy's theory, I need to go back and watch this now, because this guy had a whole. I think I posted it in the chat or to you, and he went on and on about symbiotes and the sword and stuff, and I'm like, I didn't even finish King in Black. I was like, I like Venom enough, but there's not enough Venom in this to like it. And it was right, great. You're kind of retconning the symbiotes' origins. Well, not really, because it was kind of just there's a planet, that's where the symbiotes are from. This is kind of a guy that created the symbiotes to try and take over the galaxy, and he's got this black sword that does stuff. So I'm guessing that the ebony sword is his. I think there's an ivory sword as well, like the polar opposites. And I'm pretty sure Agent Venom wielded one of them when
maybe
Flash Thompson was Agent Venom, or was it was Flash? I think it was Flash. Believe it or not, Venom. See, most people that know Venom, they don't realize he's got almost as convoluted a history as Spider-Man, if not more so. Like,
Oh yeah.
like Venom, like he does. See, when people are like, why does Venom in his own movie? I'm like, why not? Like, what Venom? And they're like, what? Do you
Love
mean,
Venom.
what Venom?
They love Venom.
There's a lot
Yeah.
of Venoms. Like Venom's great character, and there's so many opportunities. I think he's very deserving of his own movie. I can't wait for you to see it, man. You really do. The only thing is, right? I know there's certain things you allow Bethany to see, and certain things you won't. I would give it a skim through, at least. I don't know. It's like a sort of body metamorphosis, sort of body shock horror. The first one's, it's not really horror, but it's minging at some parts.
The only thing, like,
Lap dances,
she's fine with
blah,
like,
blah, blah.
she's fine with gore and stuff like that. It's just sex stuff. She's not like.
I don't think there's any
up to
sex in
watching.
Venom.
Yeah, yeah. Well, that's fine.
Definitely no
There was
sex
a-
in Venom 2.
There was a sex scene in Eternals, right? And it was like two of the characters had sex on the beach, and it was like such a stupid sex scene. There was just no point to it. Like it was really crap, like a really bad sex scene, like
So
very
wait,
awkward looking.
back to what you were saying though, like Blade.
Blade,
when
yeah.
when the
Blade's
fuck's
got a
Blade
cameo.
out? When's the movie out?
No dates.
And how? Can I just throw this? Where was the guy with the sword? Was he on Earth? Because how the fuck is Blade in the middle of space chatting to the Eternals?
No, he was on Earth. The Eternals.
Alright.
Most of the movie is set on Earth. In fact, yeah, 99% of the movie is set on Earth.
Why is Blade get anything to do with that sword? Like, that's not me going, I'm intrigued to find
Well,
out. I'm just like,
so
what the fuck has Blade got to do with a symbiote sword?
So the guy that has the sword is just a regular guy who happens to have like a family history. Right? He's not an Eternal, and he's not been around for hundreds of years or anything. He's just a normal guy who's inherited this sword, and he seems to know that there's some weirdness with it. Right? He don't really mention it apart from like he says to one of the girls because he's dating one of the Eternals, and he says to her like, "Oh, I need to tell you something about my family." And then
We've
she
got
gets
a
whisked
sword?
away, and he never gets to tell her. He never gets to
Is
tell
that what
her.
he was going to tell her though? I've got a sword, and she's like, let me watch my Kardashians. Like, get out the
Oh
living
no,
room.
she's an Eternal, so it's like she.
No, but
By
imagine
the way,
I
like
said that. Does he know she's an
I
Eternal,
would-
or is that like me going through to Tasha?
He
and going,
does.
I've got something to say about Tasha and bringing down my blade sword and going, look, we've got
Yeah.
a sword, and she'd be like, go away.
He does know she's an Eternal, not at the beginning of the movie, but by the end he does. But she gets kind of whisked away by the one of the Celestial guys
Is
to
Galactus
sort
in
of
it?
judge them.
I know he's not.
Galactus is not in it, no. No, he's
Do you
not.
know how I know?
But I think
Because that guy's spoiler video said Galactus will not be in this movie. I don't know
No.
how he got these leaks, but he broke it down. Like, I'm now needing to rewatch what he said because he was talking about Venom 2, and I kind of tried to over Let There Be Carnage because I wanted to see most of the. I knew the end scene before as well because it got leaked, but like the rest of it, I wanted to just watch. But the things he touched on that you've just talked about, and him linking the Sony verse to the Marvel verse and talking about them coming together before they split completely, like it's almost like they're going to come together for a while, and there's going to be a few Sony films and stuff like Morbius and things that will cross over in Venom 2, obviously.
Yeah.
And then obviously Doctor Strange 2 will try and re-separate them, but he says that not everything will re-separate and there will still be some crossovers.
That's cool. But anyway, I want to tell you about just the overall of this movie, right?
Yeah.
Because there's some of the movie's really good. Like the last half an hour and the end credit scenes are all really good, really high level quality stuff. Enjoyed them. Before that, though, like there's a lot of problems because there's too many characters in the movie because they've got like 8 Eternals or 10 Eternals or whatever it is, and you kind of never like get to know them enough to like them. To be honest, for most of them. Like there's a guy with finger guns as his power. He's got finger guns. Pew, pew. He was kind of cool, and he becomes a Bollywood actor. Like I liked him. He was cool. There's a guy with like just a power fist, which was cool.
Iron Fist.
There's Angelina Jolie. He was cooler than Iron Fist. There's Angelina Jolie who can just summon these like weapons. She was cool. But the main character is called Cersei, right? And it's funny because obviously
Like The
when
Witcher?
I hear the word no, I think of Game of Thrones, right? Because Cersei is like the queen.
What's the
in
name of the
Game
girl in
Thrones.
The Witcher?
Cersei? No, it's what's her name? Ciri? No, not Ciri.
It is City.
What's the name? Yeah,
It's
it's Ciri.
Ciri.
It's not Cersei. Yeah, Cersei's Game of Thrones.
That's you.
But it's funny because the two guys that are in love with her during the movie are the two guys that are in this movie that are also in Game of Thrones, and to hear them like talking to Cersei and like how they're in love with her or whatever, it's very strange. But yeah, the kind of main guy Icarus is played by Rob Stark. I forget the actor's name, but he's a Scottish guy. He is wooden as fuck in the whole movie. Richard Madden, that's him. I think he's in that Line of Duty as well. Unbelievably wooden in this. Like he's just every delivery is the same. Like the world is gonna end. Okay, like it's that just total deadpan. So didn't like him. But he goes away, so which is good. But yeah, like all the characters, you don't, because there's so many of them, they're so spread out. You don't get enough time to spend with them to actually like them. And that main character of Cersei is really boring. So the over the actual Eternals, like most of them are not that interesting. There's a fast lady in it, and she's deaf, which was cool. And she all the fast scenes they did them as just fast scenes, and they didn't do any of that slow down nonsense, which I enjoyed because we've seen too much of that slow down stuff now, because they do it every time the Flash is around or Quicksilver or whatever. So this girl was just zoom, speeding around everywhere, which was good. The effects in it are good.
Blade, I'm still at Blade. Sorry, I know the effects are good. We'll stop.
It's
there.
one line, mate.
Yeah,
it's one line.
No, but here's the thing.
And he's not even on screen.
You've got the Eternals that are from this side. Like no one really gives a fuck if you read the comic side of things. You might show up in a Guardians or a Doctor Strange or a cosmic event. One of you now and then, or when someone's remembering the past. Then you've got Blade, who's kind of middle ground, kind of dark Marvel, like dark, not dark
Marvel, yeah.
Like, he's kind of there, like Moon Knight.
Marvel Knights. Marvel Knights was
that's what I'm thinking of.
Yeah.
Which I would love to see them combine into a TV show with Moon Knight and all that all together, but on Disney Plus. But like to have Blade cameo in this, like that is the weirdest fucking cameo I've ever heard.
I know it's only because it's the Black Knight. It makes sense because it's the Black Knight, right? Like, and I don't know how much dealings they've had in the no, it does, because Blade's obviously been around for hundreds of years. Blade knows the history of like weapons and shit because he's a sword master. He's a vampire. He's been around. He knows the history, right?
Yeah, because the sword, as far as I remember, like you use it and you start thinking of bad shit, and it turns out that the sword isn't making you think of that. It's drawing from your darkness and making you become that as you use it. So I get that. But that's not the point. Like, you've got you've just said there's Angelina Tomb Raider. Sorry, not Angelina Jolie. You've got Lara Croft in here saying that she can summon weapons, and she doesn't chat to him about it.
Nope.
But Blade comes out of nowhere, and literally you don't see him, and he's like, "Yeah, I've not had a film myself, and I don't think I've got a film next year, but don't use the sword."
Yeah, basically, yeah. But the whole movie's set on nothing. Basically, what I think this movie was, right, is this movie is the history of the up in the MCU. That's what all this movie is.
Yeah, every review I've said is it's a, what do you call it, a branching movie, where it's like there's certain things that could come out of it, and it's more or less just covering like the universe again and laying groundwork for potential future strings. But
yeah, but basically all the cool things happen in the last half an hour, 40 minutes of the movie.
In the trailer, Cyclops. What's that?
There's no Cyclops. It's one of the Eternals, Icarus. He has basically Superman powers, except he's not invincible.
I seen him doing laser.
Yeah, he's got laser eyes.
Right, so they're going to bounce X-Men off of this. 100% guarantee. Because the minute I seen him go, that was a Scott Summers move if I've ever seen it. Like he literally did that. Superman doesn't go, He just goes, I'll heat you up a lot. Like Scott Summers zaps lasers out his eyes. That's where the X-Men are coming from.
I think he did that once in the movie. Like every other time he used his laser powers, he just went.
Yeah, but that's Cyclops. You know what it is.
No, but like, by the end of the movie, he is no longer around. So
his DNA will have found. It's comics, Andy. There's a multiverse that just exploded.
There is no DNA here. I'll tell you that.
Well, essence, life,
because the Eternals. Magic. The Eternals, spoilers, like I've gone to watch spoilers anyway, but like the Eternals are not real people. They are sentient beings.
Yeah.
They are not people, and they are not aliens. They are sentient beings which are made.
But they made Thanos.
Maybe, like
they did.
But he has a deviant gene, so it's a weird thing.
So all you need to do is get deviant genes, and you've got the X-Men.
Well, the theory online is that because what happens at the end of the movie, and this is the cool part, is that there's a celestial. Basically, the Earth is an egg, right? The Earth is an egg. That's what the movie's about.
And Adam Warlock comes out the egg and fights Peter Quill.
No,
No, that's
no,
Guardians.
no. Yeah, no. So the Earth is an egg, and the reason the Eternals are on Earth is to basically cultivate the Earth so that there's enough people on it to make life, so that
Like
the
an
celestial can be
ego
born.
did.
Kind of like with that, yeah. But now that the celestial, it's got to the point where there's enough people on Earth so that the celestial can be born. So the celestial starts birthing itself. So it starts like popping out of the Earth. And what happens to
It
the Earth
starts
when the celestial
buffing
comes out?
itself.
Yeah, what happens to the Earth when the celestial comes out? It's gone. It gets obliterated.
So they've
Right?
killed the Earth.
No, because they stop the celestial from coming out. Basically, its hand starts to come out, so it's got 4 fingers and a bit of its head.
So the Earth is kicking about, and this is happening.
Yeah, that's where they left it. So the Earth is here, and there are 4 fingers sticking out and a little head.
Yeah, I'm not
These-
watching this.
This is this is going to affect the MCU because
No.
this is here now.
No, it won't,
it's stuck
because
there.
Spider-Man's
Can't get rid of
changing
it.
things. So we don't need to be in this shitty universe anymore, where Phil
But-
Coulson may or may not be still alive. We can just go to a nice universe where everything's like the
You know-
comics.
You know what's cool about that, right? I like the way they did that because
Nothing's cool about a hand coming out of the Earth.
Oh no, but a head,
Where
a
does
bit
it
of a
come
head
out
off.
of?
It's like some bit in the sea, like with a volcano.
So,
kicking around.
like, right now in, say, the Pacific Ocean, which
Mm-hmm.
is here, there's a hand just kicking about.
It's like more like this, like bit of a hand, like 4 fingers sticking out like this. Hello. And a bit of a head. But the bit of the head, right, is cool because that was in the comic books. Because this happens in the comics, and the head sort of comes out a wee bit, and then the Avengers end up
So wait.
using that as their base. They haul the head out and they use it as their base. Really cool.
So, Doctor Strange has seen all possible futures as of Infinity War. I believe he looked at them all. He went, and he's seen them all. So,
Mhm.
Doctor Strange knows there's a hand popping out next to the Christmas Islands.
Yeah.
Okay, and he didn't tell anyone. He just thought, do you know what? I'm going to save
Well,
Spider-Man a headache today
What-
and fuck
what
everything
the-
up.
The Eternals have got this. They are going to deal with this. It will be fine. But yeah, it wasn't a great movie. Apart like the last half an hour, 40 minutes, I really enjoyed it. Yeah, as I say, the last half an hour, 40 minutes of the movie, I really enjoyed it. But a lot of the sort of build up to that was like, there is a lot of backstory that I don't feel really needed to be there, and it didn't benefit the movie very much because the characters were not well fleshed out at all. But I mean, then like I've said, they're all sentient beings that were created. They're not actual. They're not humans. They're not aliens. They're just like creations of the Celestials. Fair enough, they've been around for like thousands of years, but they're not quite invincible, but they're pretty fucking tough. Like they don't age. They don't die. Well, they can die, but it's very difficult to kill them. I don't know why Ali ran away, but he has run away. Anyway, I don't have anything more to say about the Eternals, so I'll move on to talking about some games and some news. I'll talk about some news whilst I wait for Ali to come back, because there's some interesting stuff. So Hideo Kojima has decided that he wants to make movies finally, which he's been clearly auditioning for his entire career, basically. He has now made a movie studio. Okay. He's made a movie studio, and it's going to be in Los Angeles. It's going to be in, and they're going to be making, I don't know, what are they going to be making here? He doesn't even say, but they're basically going to be making a movie. It's probably going to have Mads Mikkelsen in it, but as you do. Reggie Fils-Aimé has been saying some stuff about Xbox, so he is Ali reckons he's angling for a job at Xbox here, but basically saying that the gaming industry is better because of Xbox, which I would kind of agree with. Like they're doing some really interesting things and really positive things just now. Bringing back Perfect Dark. But yeah, obviously this is part of Xbox's 20 years anniversary, which was last week. We spoke about anyway. Okay, a Sony patent is suggesting that official PS5 faceplates could be on the way. This is a complete no-brainer, and I can't believe they've not done it already. The thing is, they did this for PS4. They had that removable faceplate thing. You could buy official Sony faceplates, like red ones, orange ones, blue ones, black ones, white ones, whatever, and you could change out your basic faceplate that you had for whatever color you wanted, or within whatever ones they had. And the PS5 goes even further than that because you can change both faceplates and completely change the color of the console. So this makes complete sense. There was obviously a massive demand for the D brand ones that came out, and as well as some other companies made some as well. And yeah, it makes sense for Sony to jump on that completely. Also, I actually like the idea of this for one reason only, because when a special edition console comes out, sometimes those are very difficult to get hold of. Like Spider-Man PS4 Pro, very difficult to get your hands on. And obviously, the thing is, if you've already got a PS4 and you're like, "Fuck, I really think that looks really cool. I would love for that to be my PS4." Then you're at the point of like, "Oh, do I get rid of my absolutely the same PS4 to buy this other PS4 that just looks nicer?" It's kind of a weird one because you're happy with your console, but you want the one that looks cooler. This solves that completely because the PS5 is completely modular cosmetically like that. So it means that those faceplates, you could just buy whatever ones you want. So yeah, I think Sony sell these probably 30, 40 quid a pop, maybe 40. Um, and make an absolute killing off them anytime when a new game comes out. They don't need, well, they could still put it on a limited edition console, but they don't have to because they can just sell you the plates. Makes complete sense to me. So just sell the plates, 40 quid. People will buy the shit out of these. And you'll sell way more of them than you would ever sell like a God of War console or a Last of Us console or whatever. You'll sell way more faceplates. Because people will buy multiple of them to change them out because they'll go, "Oh, what's the new hot game? I'll buy the faceplate." And then they'll get the next one. They'll sell shitloads of these, and I don't imagine they would be particularly expensive to produce either. So they'll sell loads. Would I change the color of my PS5? It just sits by my TV anyway. I don't see it, so I don't care. It's fine being white. I would buy a new PS5 when they do a bigger hard drive, maybe a smaller one, maybe. But there's no need to change the faceplates on it whatsoever. Okay, the charts for this week. Where as follows: the number 10 is Just Dance 2022. Okay, number 9, Pokemon Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl double pack. Double pack note. Number 8, Far Cry 6. Number 7, Mario Kart 8. Number 6, Spider-Man Miles Morales. Jumping back in again. It's probably on sale again. And number 5, FIFA 22. Number 4, Call of Duty Vanguard. Down from number 1. It's dropped off a fair bit. Number 3, Battlefield 2042. Which is not as high as you would think it would be. And then number 2, Pokemon Shining Pearl. And then number 1, Pokemon Brilliant Diamond. So Pokemon's got 3 fucking entries on this. That's insane. I would imagine that the double pack will drop off completely next week, and then you'll just see Shining Pearl and Diamond float around. Pearl will drop off faster than Diamond. Diamond will sell better. Weird. I did not pick up any of those games. Obviously, I did play a bit of Battlefield 2042 previously, and it's all right. Call of Duty's new Warzone map, which was due to be coming soon, has now been delayed to Halo Infinite's release day. So that is the December the 8th. So not long away, a couple of weeks. And new maps coming out, and then Halo's official release date. That's when the campaign's coming out, and also the full release of the multiplayer, even though the multiplayer is already out, but it's technically in beta. Forza Horizon 5 has celebrated that they have hit 10 million players already. So they've done that way faster than either of the two previous Forza games, and I don't know if the ones before that even hit that. So yeah, it's the biggest launch in Xbox history. Game Pass is a lot to answer for that though, because there's a lot of people who will have just booted it up to try it out for like an hour or 10 minutes or whatever. I know that I've only played it 2, maybe 3 times and I think maybe 4 or 5 hours in total. Campaign co-op for Halo is not coming at launch. It's not coming until May 2022. I think that's too long. They're way too late with that. So they needed to launch with it or come early next year. May is too late. By then, no one's playing the campaign. People will still be playing the multiplayer. So Forza Horizon 5 is not up for a Game of the Year award at the Game Awards, and people are not happy about it because this is the highest rated game of the year on Metacritic, and it's not even been like mentioned at all for this. Like it has been mentioned for from some of the categories. I think it's like best audio design or whatnot. Yeah, best audio design, innovation, and accessibility, and best sports racing category, but not for best game, even though it's the best rated game of the year. Very, very weird. I don't know why that is. But yeah, 10 million players in 10 days for that game. That's insane. Okay, so some. I think this is one of them auction dramas again, right? So they're. Oh, this is on eBay. Right, so on eBay, there's a listing for 2 GoldenEye display boxes, right? So that's just the box, the cardboard box. And the total price of these things is £2,445. What? It's just the box, not even the game. It's graded 85 plus, so it's basically near mint. What? They're like flat pressed. The guy says they've never been made up, but surely they were made up at one point, and he just folded them away, like as soon as he got them. Like I understand the condition's good, but it's just a bit of cardboard at the end of the day. Even the boxed copy of that game, though, you can buy it for like 50, 60 quid. Like probably more if the condition's nice, but not thousands of pounds. No fucking way. No, thank you. That's crazy. But yeah, yeah, very weird. There's an Earthworm Jim TV series in development at the moment, which is kind of cool. I liked Earthworm Jim, and there was a cartoon back in the day, that was really good. Like I'm sure it'll be on YouTube now, but the cartoon was absolutely excellent. It's definitely worth checking out. Obviously, that Earthworm Jim coming to the Intellivision Amico as well. So Earthworm Jim's come back in some capacity. And that's kind of most of the news that it was worth talking about. Apart from this whole Activision thing, still rumbles and rumbles on. So basically this week, Xbox and PlayStation and Nintendo as well have come out and said that they are all evaluating their relationships with Activision. It's probably just a matter of time before that CEO, Bobby Kotick, gets made to step down, because Activision can't lose those partnerships because they make them too much money. Imagine Activision loses a partnership with Xbox and Sony. Maybe not so much Nintendo. There's not as much stuff goes over there, but like your Call of Duty Warzone, all your Call of Duty, your Warzone, your any game that they make, Activision, which is mainly Call of Duty games. Obviously they do the Blizzard stuff as well, like Diablos and World of Warcraft and whatnot. World of Warcraft doesn't have anything to do with Sony or Microsoft, but yeah, that's pretty much all the news. Yeah, Alice should be back with us shortly. that was one other thing to talk about. Tencent has bought a minority stake in Platonic, so that's the company that made Yooka-Laylee. Platonic are apparently going to double their headcount, so that's double their workforce, and they're going to expand to 3 different development teams working on, well, 3 games you would imagine. One of which is a sequel to the 3D game, so that would mean another 3D Yooka-Laylee game. I didn't really like that game because of the noises in the game. The whole talking was. I hate all that shit. But yeah, so they're gonna be doing that. But yeah, that's all the news pretty much. So I'll cover what I've been playing then. So mainly I've been playing Halo, really, to be honest. Like, which I know Ali's been playing as well, but I haven't been playing with Ali, to be fair, really. But I've been playing just really the quick play and the big team battles. And that game's a lot of fun. Like I see what he's saying about the batteries now, though. So Ali spoke quite a bit last week about how he didn't like this battery mode because you have to run in. And these guys are trying to steal your batteries, and you're trying to get batteries, and just too many batteries. But I think once you get used to that mode, it's fine. It's like it's kind of like a sort of different version of Capture the Flag, but with a battery. Because you've got like 5 batteries, so you need to get your 5 batteries. Oh, you need to steal 5 batteries from them and put them in your thing, and they need to do the same basically. Like I don't know if there's like batteries that just spawn in the map or what or who starts the batteries, but anyway, you get like first person to get to 3 completes. So like, you get to 5 batteries and then you get 1 point. And first person to do that, first person to do that 3 times wins the game. Which I actually didn't mind. Like, to be honest, it's quite fun. Like, because you see the highlights the person on the map that has like if they steal one of your batteries, and it's like, oh, they've got your battery, kill them. And if you're the guy running with the battery, like you don't have a weapon, you've just got a battery. So you need to run, and you need to get your teammates to run interference to kill any people that might be after you, which I quite liked because I was playing with a couple of mates. So like if I'm running with the battery, they're running interference for me, and vice versa. If one of them's got it, like I'm helping try to kill people to make sure that they don't get killed and they can get the battery home. So I liked that. Like it was good kind of teamwork. Like I don't think it would be any fun doing it by yourself, to be honest. But doing it with a few people, I thought was really good. But yeah, as we said last week, the game looks really nice. It plays brilliant. I'm starting to kind of learn some of the maps now because I've played quite a few matches, and there's not a huge rotation of maps in this. I think there's maybe 5 different maps. So there's not a vast number of different maps. So I kind of worked out like where the best kind of spots are for everything. What I've not experimented very much with is the weapons, to be honest. Like most of them, I've just used the stock weapon that they give you. But there are like the weapons that you pick up from like there's some in like I don't know, wall cupboards. And then there's some that you pick up as like special power ups that are just like lying on the ground, like gold ones. Some of them are cool though. Like there's one that's like it's a big bolt. I think it's called a skeever or something. And you fire it, and like if it hits them, it just impales them and kills them straight away in like one hit, which I thought was really cool. And like when you manage to do that, it's like yes, really awesome. But most of the rest of the time, I've just been using the regular one. Oh, hello.
Right.
Like,
Remember Andy?
Hello.
To be on YouTube.
I don't want those.
No, but you need to hear him so you can speak. Right.
Hi,
you
Led.
sit here.
Hello.
Say hi, everyone. You say hi? You say hi, everyone? Not going to speak. You just want to sit with Dad? Okay. So Lacey's not been feeling well. She's had a wee bout of tonsillitis, haven't you? Yep.
Oh dear. That's no good.
You
I've been there.
You played a game with Daddy this week, didn't you?
What game did you play?
Mario Party.
Mario Party.
Mario
Oh, that
Party.
sounds
Yeah.
that sounds much more interesting than what I'm talking about.
So, who won at Mario Party? Yeah.
Of course.
Who did you play as?
A blue girl.
The blue girl. Was it the princess with the green dress? The blue green dress? She was called Rosalina. And what did you have to do in the game you played?
I don't know.
Do you remember rolling the dice? Yeah, and then
I got 4.
you did get 4 in one of them. You did.
Nice.
4.
Four.
And did you remember getting annoyed at a mini game and saying you wanted to do it again? And you told Daddy to stop winning, didn't you?
Yeah.
Yeah. What's your favourite game?
Purple Dragon game.
Spyro.
Yeah.
Oh, Spyro, yeah, Spyro's good.
What do you have to do in Spyro? Do you remember? You have to fight the bad guys, don't you? And what do the bad wizards do?
They kick you.
They do kick you, don't they?
Oh my,
And are you good
that's
at
not good.
Are you good at the Purple Dragon game?
Yeah.
Yeah? You like YouTube, don't you?
Yeah.
What's your favourite one on YouTube? What do you like watching?
Elsie and Anya.
You do like Elsie and Anya, don't you? Do you ever watch Andy on YouTube?
No.
No one does. No one does. No one watches Andy. He's just laughing. Did you watch Spider-Man
out.
today?
Yes.
Yeah, do you like Spider-Man? Was he too
Spider-Man's
little?
good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Leo's too little to play Mario games.
Leo's too little to play Mario games, isn't he?
Yeah.
He was, yeah.
But you're a big girl, aren't you?
I can play it with Mummy and my daddy.
Yeah.
Good.
What does Mario say?
I don't know.
You don't know? Do you like Sonic?
Yeah.
What colour's Sonic?
Blue and white.
He is. He's got a white belly. What is Sonic? Is he a person? Is he a hedgehog?
Yes.
He is.
Oh, he's a human. He's a human. He has a human girlfriend.
He's got lots of friends, doesn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah. Who do you like better, Sonic or Mario?
Sonic.
Definitely my child. Can confirm.
Good choice. Good choice.
And what have you been doing tonight, Lexi?
I don't know.
You been feeling good today?
Yeah.
Yeah. Are you warm? Do you want to talk more to Andy?
No.
No. Do you want to sit with Daddy?
Yep.
You just want to sit. Well, we'll let Andy talk about what he was talking about.
Yeah.
Say, keep going, Andy. No, keep going, Andy.
I was just talking about Halo. Like, I was pretty much finished talking about it, to be fair. Did you play any more Halo?
Did you play Halo, Lexi? Yeah.
Did you play Halo? Oh, you did? Oh, okay. Did you like it?
Did you like Halo?
Yeah.
What did you have to do in Halo?
Oh,
Shoot a bad guys.
oh, yeah, you do. It's good fun.
Did you play any more?
No.
No. Okay, so I played quite a lot of Halo, didn't I?
Yep.
Who was I playing with?
Mercury Racer.
Uncle Fraser. Daddy was playing with Uncle Fraser, but he doesn't always play with Uncle Fraser a lot, does he?
No.
No. What does Daddy like playing?
Sonic.
What was he playing today? When you were watching your tablet?
Spider-Man.
He was playing a lot of Spider-Man
Spider-Man.
today. Yep.
Spider-Man.
Spider-Man was good, but no, we didn't play much Halo. Me and Lexi, Daddy put 13 hours in, didn't he? That was a lot.
Oh my.
Oh my, Andy said.
That's a lot.
That is a lot.
Yep.
Yep. Well, I put my headphones like this and maybe you can hear him.
Yep.
Okay. So, we played some Halo with Uncle Fraser. I like it for the most part, but I think I absolutely hammered it the first few nights. I think it looks good. I was fine with it last year, though. Were you fine with it last year? Yep. Andy was too.
Yeah.
And this time, it looks nicer.
Yep.
Yep. You think it looks nicer?
Yep.
What do you like best? Do you like the water?
Yep.
Yep. So, the shooting's better, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely better. And do you like that they've got rid of all the moves?
Yep.
Yep. See, some people like that as well. I prefer having the Spartan charge, don't I?
Yep.
Yeah, definitely. So, all in all, it's good, but it's definitely a beater. Who have you got there?
Rabbit.
Your rabbit. You want to show him to Andy?
Rabbit. Oh,
Show him to the camera there.
oh, what's his name?
What's the rabbit's name?
He doesn't got any name.
What does Daddy call him?
Peter Rabbit.
No.
Peter Rabbit.
No, I don't want to say that.
You don't want to say that. Daddy calls him Manky Frankie.
Oh, poor Rabbit.
Lexi loves rabbit. You've had that for nearly 4 years, haven't you?
Yeah, I had it when I was a baby.
Bethany still has her rabbit. It's called Bun Bun from when
Bun
she was a
Bun.
baby.
No.
Yeah.
Oh, is that a cute name? Andy, do you remember Bethany came to see you? No?
No, definitely
Because
wouldn't remember
You were
that.
a little girl. Bethany's Andy's wee girl. One day this is going to be your show with Bethany's, do you know that? And you're going to do it with Bethany. Is that fun? Say hi, Bethany. Hi, Bethany. I don't want to say that because I'm too
She's
shy.
not here. She's sleeping.
Ah, you're up later than Bethany. You're a monkey, aren't you?
Yep.
Do you want some juice? No. Do I talk about Halo again?
Yeah.
So,
I
Halo...
want to talk about it too.
You do. What do you want to say about it? Is it fun?
Yeah.
Yeah. And what do you think you need to do in Halo?
Shoot what bad guys.
Yeah, you do. And is it on the PlayStation or at Xbox?
PlayStation.
No. No, it's on the Xbox. Sausage. Mario's on the Switch.
Switch.
That's the one. So, Daddy used to play a lot of it with Uncle Fraser. No, she's got a wee bit of tonsillitis, but she's okay, aren't you? So we played it with Michael. I can't remember Fraser's friend, Welsh, somebody from Wales, and
James.
I don't think it was Davis. I don't think we played together, me and you. I think you were on with Ian and Mark. But for me, I played a lot. I played a lot solo.
Me too.
Yeah. And it's fun. I think, yep, they've got the foundations, don't they?
Yeah.
Yeah, they do. And I like the ranking system, but
Yep.
it's definitely a beta.
Yes.
Do you think it's more of a beta?
Yeah.
Yeah, kind of like a demo. Yeah, they're going to have more when the game comes out in 2 weeks, aren't they?
Yeah.
Are you hyped for it?
Yep.
Yeah, you are. So I'm excited. It's a shame the single players, like, not co-op, like the campaign. Single player being the key word there, am I right?
Yeah.
Yeah. But I'm looking forward to seeing what they do with that to a point. But the multiplayer's where it's at, and I think we need a few more playlists. Do you, Lexi?
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you like Slayer?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's better, isn't it?
I like LOL dolls too.
You do.
That's what I'm asking for Santa.
Yeah,
And a big house.
a big house.
Yeah.
Like how so?
For my
mean,
Barbie dolls and my LOL dolls.
Oh, like a toy house, right? Okay,
Yeah.
cool.
Where are you going to keep it?
And my bedroom.
Oh, okay.
Can Andy come and see them one day?
Yeah.
Yeah. Jen Candy would like playing
Cool.
with them. I think he would.
No, he can't play with me.
Why?
He's a big grown up.
Andy likes LOL dolls.
No, he doesn't.
Yes, he does.
No, he doesn't.
What I not like? Dolls.
You wouldn't like playing with the LOL dolls.
No.
LOL dolls. I don't have any here. I've got plenty of toys here though.
Show Lexi
Oh,
your
well.
collection. Look, watch. See, Andy and Daddy aren't big, grown-up, boring people. Andy and Daddy like cool things. Do you want to see one of Andy's Pop Funkos?
Yeah.
See? Daddy told Lexi he knew about Pop Funkos. She didn't believe me. Have you got one there, Andy?
Yep. There's one there.
Who's
Oh,
that?
Funko.
See? It's like it's Agent Phil
You won't know who
Coulson.
it is. Phil
It's
Coulson's from a bit.
Agent Phil Coulson. She doesn't know who it is because it's not connected to the main Marvel universe in any way, shape or form, is it?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, You like the microphone?
Yeah.
Yeah. What do you like the best?
'Cause it's fuzzy.
Yeah.
I love it, those.
Yeah, I know you like them. You having fun?
Yep.
Will Daddy talk more about Halo or?
Yeah, me too.
Okay then. So, I think it's purposefully left out some maps.
Yeah.
Yeah? Because they don't
Yeah.
want to spoil the main campaign. That's what I think.
Yeah.
Yeah? Probably something along the lines of if you see they go here, excuse me, Halo fans will know certain events will happen. And you don't want that
Yeah.
happening, do you?
No.
No, you don't want that happening. Don't want spoilers. Boo to the spoilers. So it definitely is a beta, and the guy, I don't know, sorry for saying the guy that makes it, but the guy that makes Halo came out and said that it's legitimately a beta. They're testing their systems.
Yeah.
Do you know that as well? Did you read that?
Yeah.
Where did you read it? In Games Radar?
Yeah.
You did? So he said it's definitely a beta, and I can feel it. So,
Pants are stuck.
your pants are stuck. Cool. So,
See, I don't think it feels like a beta. Like,
oh, I
in
think
the
the
gameplay,
handling and everything's superb, but I mean, content-wise, it feels like a beta.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think just apart from the maps, like you said, I think everything else is there. Like, there's tons of stuff in it.
I wouldn't say tons, but I would say the foundations are there. You having a good time?
Yeah.
But I will be playing more of it. They've just started, I think it's not Tanuki. I kept saying Tanuki, but that's Mario's costume with the raccoon tail. I kept saying the Tanuki season, Tanaki or something. The Samurai week is this week. But the cool thing,
Right.
the one thing I like is, see, for people like me with kids, you can't always play. And like Fortnite, you buy a battle pass and it's gone in a month. Whereas this, the
I mean,
battle pass,
It's 3 months, but yeah, this one's longer.
Fortnite, well, you know what I mean. Like it's a shorter time, and there are like season passes that are 30 days. Do you want these on?
No.
No. So for me, it gives me extra time, and it seems to be that. Well, no, sorry, I'll rephrase. It doesn't expire, so even if I lapse
Fortnite.
Fortnite,
Yeah.
do you like Fortnite?
Yeah.
Yeah. So like, it doesn't lapse. So it doesn't get superseded by the next one. You can still play season 1 until you've unlocked it. So I'm more than likely to get these season passes because I know that I've got infinite amount of time. That's what everybody thinks when I'm speaking. You've got infinite time to do them more or less, and they kind of trialed this in the Master Chief Collection, where they gave you the season pass free. They were just testing this out. So you could go back to season 1, and even in that, even though it wasn't a season pass that you paid for, it was just there. You could go back and you could load up, and on the Halo Waypoint app that I've got, you can load up the season that you want to play as. Like you can load up season 1, load up season 2. So I like that idea. I really like the fact that it's not going to disappear forever. You can still earn the rewards down the line by completing the challenges, and that
Me too.
you like that. Good. So I don't know what you think about that. You like your battle passes? You a big battle pass supporter this Halo way or the other way?
I haven't bought the battle pass, so I haven't felt any need to because I don't care about the cosmetic aspect of my guy. Like I put him in a blue suit. I'd put the 42 thing on him that you told me to.
Yeah.
That's all I do. I don't ever need anything else. So I don't know what the purpose of me playing the game is, other than that it's fun.
Well, that's the other thing you need to look at is people complain about battle pass. 6 years ago when I got married, I bought Halo 5 and I didn't complain about it not being fun. Like it still plays the same way. You've still got big team battle. You've still got all the modes. So you can ignore that side of it completely and just have fun with like how you're playing it. Do you not think, Lexi?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, I've really enjoyed playing it so far. Like it's a great game. Like really well done. It's probably not my favourite game of the year, but like it's really fun.
Trying to say cheerio to Andy? You say bye to everybody on YouTube?
No.
No, you're just going to fade. Right, well, thank you for the best guest we've had. That was you. You going to come back on the show? Yeah. You say bye, everybody. Bye.
Bye, Lexi.
Andy said bye-bye. Yes, Frankie. She didn't say his name. She said he's called Peter Rabbit.
Oh, Daddy calling him Monkey.
I was calling him Monkey Frankie because that's his name. Night night, Lexi.
But yeah, Halo's fun. Like that's kind of the roundabout way of talking about that game. It's a lot of fun.
It's. I think it's better mechanically than any other Halo I've played. Like, is it the best first-person shooter mechanics? Nope. That either goes to whatever Call of Duty's more up to date. Probably Black Ops 4. I'm lying. I can pinpoint it. Black Ops 4 and Titanfall 2 are, I would say, the peak of first-person shooters for me, control-wise, with how smooth it felt.
I don't know. I think this is definitely. It's probably better than them ones.
I can't say it is. I can't honestly say it is.
To be fair, like I've only really used the normal gun, like the default gun, right? And that gun feels so amazing to me that I don't want to ever use anything else.
You're right. It never used to feel amazing. That gun used to feel awful in all the other Halos. So yeah, they have improved it a lot, but I can't compare it to like Black Ops 4. I prefer Black Ops 4 to Modern Warfare. I prefer Black Ops 4 to Black Ops Cold War. So that to me is the best Call of Duty. And I don't think anything's matched Titanfall 2's control scheme. I don't even think Apex Legends, even though it's the same thing, technically it's not as good as Titanfall 2. It really isn't.
Apex Legends definitely not. No. But yeah, no, I think this is the best one I've played in years.
That's
for
good
sure.
though. Considering you're not as much, I wouldn't even say I'm that much of a Halo fan. I just used to like playing it on the 360 with Fraser. That was the game we used to gravitate to because he would always be on that. Me, I'm more Gears, as you know. As you know, well, back in the day I was more Gears. These days I've kind of drifted away from it because we've probably sickened ourselves of Gears at this point. And plus, until they do Gears Judgment 2, I've really no interest because that is
That was the best one, yeah.
without a doubt that's the best. It's the best Gears of War game out of them all. I would play through that a few years down the line. I would happily play that campaign and compete against Andy at some point. But like
Lose again, you mean? Yeah. Time and cover.
time and cover cat champion. So yeah, sorry about Lexi was. I know I messaged you about Lexi. I don't know if you said, but Lexi's got tonsillitis and she's penicillin for the first time, and we had to monitor. She came down and she kind of rash and everything. She was feeling, but I think she just woke up with a bad dream and a sweat because I was like, I can't see this rash, so that's what my time was doing there. And then she wasn't going to bed, and Tasha said, "Well, I'm finishing my program and you can't see it because it's naughty words." And she was kicking up, so I said, "Do you want to come on YouTube with Daddy?" And she's like, "Yeah." So no, like Halo's fine. The coolest that's not the coolest thing about Halo. The coolest thing about Halo is if you buy your kid a Series S, Xbox One at Christmas, you don't need to buy Xbox Gold. You don't need to buy Game Pass. You don't need to. All you need to do is download the game and have an internet connection. You don't need to pay for it. You can set them loose, and you could install on his console Fortnite, Apex Legends, Call of Duty Warzone. Am I right with Warzone? I think it is free as well. And Halo. He could have the 4 most popular games just now on Twitch for free. So you don't even need to worry.
Rocket League.
Obviously Rocket League as well, yeah. But you know what I mean, the big first person shooters.
Your hard drive will be
jam-packed.
Completely full.
Jam-packed. But you've got the 5 best games without you having to spend a penny over that £250 for a Series S. But I would say, if you've got £250 for the Series S and you're watching this right now, mums and dads, buy an Xbox One X. Worst case scenario, you can use game streaming to stream the medium, because that's all that we've got on the Series X. And your kid shouldn't be playing it anyway. So yeah, buy a One X. Better.
The faster load times on the Series S.
Barely. Bigger hard drive, 1 terabyte in the One X, disk drive, so you can trade the games in. And I've seen a One X cheaper than $250 recently, so.
Yeah, you can get cheaper than that. But the thing is, like, a lot of kids these days, they're not playing all those games like us. Like, we're buying and trading and swapping games and stuff like that. Like, weirdo cat. What are you doing?
It's not even facing me. Bond. What are you doing? Was that a successful climb there? You better not go on my shoulder, I've got a thin t-shirt on. What was the point in that? You could have just jumped up. This cat can jump. Like it can
Yeah.
see the kitchen cabinets. It can jump up, not quite to the top of them, but it can jump up to like the units bit. This
Yeah.
and it decided to like totally climb up like King Kong at the side of a building. There. What's your problem? Do you want in this room for some reason? Go down, down.
Just wants to be close to you.
It's
Sit.
just such an annoyance. Okay. Do you want up on that? There. He's there now. But yeah, no, legit. I think that's the coolest thing ever. Is like Halo is. It's one of the big ones. Like it's one of the biggest console FPS ever. Probably the biggest on Xbox. And to give it away free, practically. I mean, you could technically use the 1 month free Game Pass in that console box at Christmas and finish the campaign if you redeem it. You could finish. I would say Game Pass is the absolute way of playing it. If you don't want to continually buy like kids' games every month, just get Game Pass. Pay it for the year, get it in a good sale. There's been no good Black Friday sales for it this year. There was better PlayStation Plus sales from what I remember.
Yeah, it is.
Because I stacked till 2024 now, so I'm fine for a good 2 years in both. But Game Pass is the best value, honestly is. When you consider games are what, £60-70 now? Just buy Game Pass. There's really no need. And the cool thing about Game Pass is you can practically play it anywhere now. Like they're doing the cloud streaming for the Series X games on Xbox One, on your phone, on your tablet. It's probably better than the phone. Play it on your PC. Yeah.
We both did that Xbox 20th anniversary thing today as well.
We did, yeah, which was pretty cool. You got to walk around with an avatar in a museum.
Yeah.
I wasn't overly interested in museum stuff. I mean, it's hard to believe to me that Sega didn't have as long a lifespan as Xbox, but that's true. Sega weren't in the console market as long as Xbox, but to me, Sega's got a richer history, just because that was my childhood. But there's plenty of people that have brought up with Xboxes that would argue different. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, they won't even remember like the Dreamcast being out, or the Saturn, or the Mega Drive, or the Master System. They won't know anything about any of these.
Or the Sega CD, or the 32X, or the Game Gear, or the Nomad.
I mean, half the people our age don't even know what half those things are.
Well, they should. But it's just weird to me to hear that. Like, they're in the console business longer now than Sega. And they were kind of Sega's spiritual successor in a way, if you know what I mean. And Sony branched off of Nintendo, and so we've got our Sega and Nintendo effectively, but neither are as good in my mind. Like, PlayStation's cool, Xbox is cool for its own thing, but Sega and Nintendo have always got a special place. Even though Nintendo's kind of dropped a happy, I'm your second or third console for everybody, and they don't care because that's what they make money off of. So yeah, they had this cool thing, the Xbox Museum, I think it was called, and you could walk around and see the history of the Xbox. They were calling it original Xbox, but there's no harm in just saying the Xbox, the 360, the Xbox One, and the Series X, and you got to have a look. But it's some pretty cool statistics, so I sent it over to Andy in the group chat because I knew Andy loves these statistics. He likes it all broken down like that, and I need to go and pee, but like I'll let Andy tell you about that. I'll be back in a second because I wish this was here to stay. Like, I want to be able to dip into this every week because it gave me PlayStation Home vibes.
Okay, yeah, because like basically you take control of an avatar that's just a generic avatar for everybody, and then you load in your own like profile and whatnot. You sign in, and then you go around and you can look at your own stats from within the Xbox ecosystem. So it will tell you like when you first signed into like a 360 and when you first signed into a Xbox One and a Series console, and then it'll tell you your most played game like of them all, and then it'll tell you your most played game of each year as well. So like I thought that was really cool. Like, I mean, all these companies like tend to do this every year. Well, to be fair, Nintendo doesn't do this, but like Sony and Microsoft have been doing some of these things for the last couple of years. So they've got the data. The data is there. So they're just pulling the same data again and putting it in a flashier format. But I enjoyed it. It was interesting. What were my ones? So I was having a look earlier. So my most played game is Fortnite. Yeah, and it makes sense, sure. The most interesting one to me was that I've earned a total of 480 achievements, supposedly, but 414 of these are rare achievements. So either I'm just like I'm playing games that no one plays, or I'm playing games that very few people like play and get any achievements in. I don't know, maybe. My gamer score, the highest I had it was 7,191 last year, which is all right, quite respectable. Before that, I didn't really play Xbox quite clearly because in 2017 I had 90 gamer score.
It's because Game
And then
Pass
in
didn't
20
exist.
Yeah, I had 1,600. In 2019 I had 1,500, but then 2020 7,191.
See, so for my one with that, it was kind of funny to see. It was kind of averaging about what 4,500, 4,200, something like that every year. And then last year with lockdown, it was like 8,000. Like even this year, it's at like 4,000 something, which is average for me clearly. But like last year was 8,000, which means I played double the games last year. But the worrying thing for me is, so I activated my Xbox Live in 2008. That's when I got my 360, but I actually had an original Xbox, Andy, but I traded it before Live became a service. Like, Live wasn't there day one, for me anyway. I don't know if that was for everyone, but I couldn't get Live on it. And it wasn't, like, online gaming wasn't a thing in the PS2 era, really. Even though down the line I bought the modem to try and play Final Fantasy. But I never had Live, so that wouldn't have registered my original Xbox. So, 13 years worth of gaming, Andy. Hours into Gears of War 2 every night after chefing for probably about 2-3 years. And my most played game came out last year, Andy.
Yeah. I'm not surprised. You've put a lot of time into that game, to be fair. Yeah, I'll be back in 1 minute.
Yeah. So, my most played game was Marvel's Avengers. And I don't know why I'm laughing. I do enjoy that game. Oh, I like Andy's t-shirt. He's got an AT-AT t-shirt. Marvel's Avengers is a good game, but it's funny because I've spent days into it. However, I don't know how this is calculating statistics because I've definitely spent more time in Gears 2 in my head. I really genuinely believe that I've spent more time in Gears 2. But it's telling me it's Marvel's Avengers, which is cool. It's not a slight in that game. Go and play it. But yeah, that was my biggest surprise by it. I wasn't surprised at like my first game was like what was it called? Hectic? I don't even remember this game. It looks like it's sort of puzzle game. Let's have a look. Let's open it up here. So yeah, my first sign-in was the 29th of December 2008. So this is, if you go to museum.xbox.com, you can see this. So it tells you like your first console, which mine's was the 360, first sign-in to Live, first login of each console. So for me, on the Xbox 360, it was the 29th of December 2008. Xbox One was the 19th of May 2015, and the Series X was the 10th of November 2020. It's cool that it shows you this. It's really cool that it shows you this. I'm really annoyed that I don't have the badge for the original Xbox. It's really annoying me that it's only showing me those three, but 360 and Xbox, like 360 I didn't get too far away from launch, but the Xbox One I didn't realise it was out 2 years before me and you pulled the plug, but I think it's because they had such a horrific launch and it took them 2 years to sort it out that I took the plunge first, because I think it was the end of that year you get yours as well around about Christmas time, and I was like, do you know what, they've sorted out, they've got some cool games here now, and Sunset Overdrive and stuff. So I really liked, because I do have some history with Xbox, like 360 was my favourite of that generation. Xbox One for me, by the end, Game Pass and stuff came, I enjoyed it more than PS4. I know Andy was the complete opposite for the last two, but I'll be interested at the end of this generation for Andy's opinion on what he thinks is the best console. PS5, Series X. I mean, it's going to be a weird generation, I think, because by the sounds of it, PlayStation 5's drawn the battle lines by saying Spider-Man 2 is out in 2 years, so I think they're given a grace period of 2 years, and then it's cut off time, which should have been now, because the Xbox One is 8 years old. Like, it should be dead, and the PS4 is the same age. Just kill them off Stop holding back the Series X and the PS5. Just release next gen now. I mean, by all means, do your legacy titles if you want, or work on a separate version. But see, your main money should be going into the current gen. I don't care about shortages. Just do it. So the first game per console for me, huh?
The Rise of the Tomb Raider. I got the Xbox One for that game because it was Xbox exclusive for a year. Remember?
I'd been
That's
nipping
why
at
I
you
bought
up to
an
then.
Xbox.
I'd been nipping at you.
You had one already. That's when I bought it. I bought it in a Black Friday sale from Game.
Yeah, but you've had an Xbox ever since. When you think about it, like you've been a triple console gamer since the Xbox One.
Well, no, because I did sell that console after a few months. I got rid of it, and then
You
I bought
got one
another.
back. You got an S, one S. You got.
2017. I got one
Yeah.
because I went without one for like a year because I never played it.
Yeah, but I went out with PlayStation 4 with it for a year, but I would count that. That's just like taking a break. So my first games per console on the Xbox original, the first game I played was Saints Row 1. The reason I picked up an original Xbox is because Saints Row was meant to be the Grand Theft Auto killer and it never came out to PlayStation. Saints Row 2 did, but Saints Row 1 was Xbox only, so I picked up an Xbox with Saints Row, NBA Street 3, I think. And I can't remember the other games. And those are the games that I played. Or was that the 360? I can never remember. Anyway, Hexic HD, which I'm sure is a crappy puzzle game, was my first 360, but it was probably back in the days when it was called, where your Xbox store was called Xbox Arcade, and you went on and bought arcade games that you couldn't buy in the shops, and I thought this was the best thing ever. It was like, oh my god, I can buy these, and I don't even need to leave the house. And that's kind of what set my future in motion 13 years ago, was that. On the Xbox One, my first game that I played was Sunset Overdrive, and on the Series X and S, obviously, it was NBA 2K21 Next Gen version, because that was the first game I loaded up before Valhalla. I like...
Mine was Banjo-Kazooie Nuts and Bolts on the Xbox 360,
Nice, which is Banjo-Kazooie 3.
which would have been like a back compat game.
Yep,
'cause I would
absolutely.
have played that. I would have played that through Rare Replay probably.
Oh, do you know what? Do you know what might change this? If I load up an Xbox original game and I've played Xbox original games. I've played Splinter Cell recently on this. I call fraud because you've never owned a 360, if I'm right.
I've never owned a 360. But you do log into a 360, a virtual one, when you're playing back and back games.
But you don't
So,
on the Splinter Cell and yeah.
No, the original Xbox doesn't work like that. Xbox One was Dead Rising 3, which was okay.
It's a good game.
And Xbox Series X was Fortnite.
So for me, I like the most played game each year. So in 2017, because that's where it goes back to, it was Assassin's Creed Origins. 2018 was Black Ops 4. 2019 was Gears 5. 2020 was Jedi Fallen Order for some reason. I finished that in a week, so I couldn't have played much Xbox. And this year is Marvel's Avengers is my most played. So yeah, I've had 4915 this year. 2017 4675, 2018 4263, 2019 3975. These are all gamer scores, and then last year was 8170, so like double basically. I really enjoy that they've done this. I really wish that I could go into this every day and just have a look at my stats.
Yeah.
Like, I like the stats. I like that I can go to the game hub and go to progress and see how long I've played it for, see how I'm with my friends. I like the Xbox do this. Like, Xbox adopted, as you know, Andy, a lot of these online systems before PlayStation did, such as your achievements, and then trophies came and it was the same thing, vice versa, blah, blah. And I really think that Xbox have... Well, they've led the way. Xbox Live is the best. It was the best service. I still don't rate PlayStation Plus that highly. Not to do with the free games, just in general as a service. But Xbox is leading the way. I mean, you've got practical unlimited storage for your saves. I can pull up a save from 2 console generations ago and start right where I stopped. You know, like, these things that are flawless are just amazing. But I wish we had something like this. I wish this became a full app where it was like Xbox Home, like PlayStation Home, and I could just walk in and like, or Andy can come in. Do you know what would be cool? Make PlayStation Home but better. Have me and Andy's avatars walk in, give a use for the avatars, and Andy goes, oh, look at my score in this game, and I'm like, oh, come over to, oh, that's cool, I'm going to try and beat it. And me and Andy both go in, and Andy tries to renew his time, and I try and beat the time. This is what this should be.
Like, they always do, it kind of reminds me of the Miiverse on the Was it
I
the Wii?
love the Miiverse and the Wii U. Wii U.
Like a Wii U, yeah.
We could
when
post
you-
notes. I could send Andy a note and post it. And he would log on
Yeah,
his
but do you
system and it'd be in
remember-
the top screen.
Yeah, do you remember when you booted up that console and then all your Miis were just like
And they go,
around?
la, 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 and then they come on to your,
Yeah.
and they go on your tablet. That was so cool when they all congregated in the telly and then they went, la, 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 and it was on the tablet. They,
So like give me this on Xbox, like just have the people that are online be there on the screen,
Avatars.
and you're like, have the avatars, like
Yeah.
do that.
I mean, if Zuckerberg's making the metaverse, let's make Ready Player One happen now. I've been saying it for ages. Just
Yeah, on Xbox.
let me log into Xbox. I don't want to see menus. I want to log in as an avatar. If I push the pause, I want my menus. If I want quick pause, boom, 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 I can go to whatever I want. See if me and Andy are hanging about, I'll be like, Andy, let's jump on. We can walk down the street. Oh, let's go and see what cosmetics are out. We can walk down, blah, blah, blah. Oh, cool. Look at this. Do you think that's cool? There's Mark Zuckerberg. Let's know.
NBA does it. Walk around the
That exactly. NBA, the street, not the street. Blacktop. No, not Blacktop.
it's the city. It's called, I think.
Yes.
In the new one.
Yes. Just do that. Just have that. Have me walking about, and then Andy going, look at my high score that I got in, say, Fortnite, because that's Andy's favourite game last night. Look, here's... She must play games, so it counts the same. So, look here. And then I'm like, do you know what? Let's jump in and do it. And we both go, woo, we both go in. And yeah, we don't have to stay for our avatars, but let my avatar be my menu. I don't want stale menus anymore. This is no longer the future. This is the future,
Yeah,
doing
I like
that
it.
shit. I like
Yeah.
it a lot. Yeah, give me
No,
more.
it was good fun. My most played games of each year was 2017 PUBG, 2018 was Black Ops 4.
2018 for me as well. We played a lot of that game.
Yeah, we did. 2019 was PES 2019. 2020 was Fortnite. 2021 was Fortnite.
It's a sad existence, mate.
So-
You know? I don't realise. Even the kids are playing Fortnite now.
I know they don't like that kid hates Fortnite. You know, she's like, I don't like that. My friends don't play that. Like she plays Overwatch, like, which is arguably a better game to be fair.
Don't support Activision.
Well, I mean, she doesn't have any clue about any of that, and I'm
Okay.
not exactly about to educate her about that, because that's a whole story I don't want to get into. With her, I already spoke about it on the show. Listen to me earlier. I played one other game that I wanted to talk about that I picked up, because I got the hankering to play another Metroidvania, Ali.
Yeah. I meant to play Castlevania.
fine.
I did not.
I did not play Castlevania, but what I did pick up a Bloodstained Ritual of the Night, which is
Heard good things. Is that
spiritual
not?
step.
Yeah, is that not kind of ukulele, Banjo-Kazooie kind of thing? It's some of the guys that worked in the...
It's exactly that. Yeah, it's Castlevania, but it's not called Castlevania. Basically.
But it's the guys that worked in
Um,
Castlevania that made Castlevania the good one. They went,
yeah.
let's do it ourselves. Like Rare, once they get fed up with the avatars. Like,
But like this game, I was going into it expecting fantasy Metroid, right?
yeah, that's
But
what I would think.
There's way more like RPG mechanic things going on in this. So like you're going around and you're collecting chests and you're picking up gear and like you're having to go and equip gear onto your body and stuff. Like so you're I found a new weapon. Like do you want to equip this or that one? Or and like I found a new like piece of armor. Do you want to equip it or not? Like, and I don't like that because I like the simplicity of Metroid where it's like I found a new thing, it put it on me and it told me how to use it. That was it. Like there was the abilities and that was it. Done and dusted.
So can I just stop you there? Because Castlevania is like that. Castlevania doesn't have these RPG things.
I don't think. Yeah. I think this is new to try and kind of modernize it a wee bit, but like I didn't like it. Like I want it to be like pure platforming, fighting things.
Yeah, everything
and
that
going
I would
back
need to
and
collect's
forth.
in the level. I don't want to have to level up and shit like that. Just give me the things to find.
I don't know if there is any leveling. To be fair, I don't see any level bars and all that. But like, there's definitely loot things in it because you're finding chests and you're picking up things.
No, just give me
that I
one.
do not like.
I like in Metroid
Yeah,
where it's
give me
like,
one thing.
here's a cannon, here's a better cannon.
Yeah,
That's
like you're
it.
upgrading your health and like upgrading your like. Well, in this case, it would be like your magic or whatnot. That's fine, and I would bet you that's in here as well. That stuff. But I don't like this whole aspect of having to like upgrade bits of my armor and weapon and things. I'm not okay in that.
Yeah, and I've been tempted by Bloodstain because there's a sequel out as well, and I'm pretty sure it was like a Kickstarter. I think it was like
Oh, there's-
Ukulele. very much.
Yeah, the two games is basically they did a Bloodstained Ritual of the Night is the main one, and there's Bloodstained Curse of the Moon. Curse of the Moon is the prequel game to it.
Right.
So it was like a stretch goal for their Kickstarter, and basically that's an NES game, and then this one's like the 16-bit like
That's
Genesis.
cool though. I like how
Well,
they've done
maybe
that.
30. Yeah. So like it's kind of like that, but I can't say I've enjoyed it too much so far. Even like the graphics, like it doesn't look as smooth as like what Metroid was. Like Metroid was just like so good. And I'm like, this is not really what I was looking for, to be honest.
But this
Like,
is what
I
everyone
thought-
said. Like, Metroid can't come back the way it was because there's people that's been better than it. And then they drop Metroid Dread and go, really? And then go back to making Prime. Like, they're the kings. Like, it's the reason it's Metroidvania and not Castle Droid. Because Metroid was the first. Metroid did it. Way back before Castlevania, as far as I know. I could be wrong, correct me on my dates if I am, but I'm sure Metroid did it first. And Castlevania by Konami came out and did it, and it was close together, and they went, oh yeah, Metroidvania is this type of game. Metroid, everyone thought, they've laid the groundwork. Every indie game is a Metroidvania game these days. But Metroid Dread came out and just went, nah, fuck you, we're not just better than all the indie games, we're competing with AAA titles. Bye.
Yep.
Let's go and make a quadruple A title.
But yeah, I'm not particularly keen on it so far. So I don't.
Did
know
you
how
get it in a
much more
sale
I'll
at least
play.
though?
I did. I picked up physical. I did not pick up in a sale. Picked up physical.
I would hold on to that. I would hold on to that physically because that's one that I would imagine would be worth money down the line.
I came across it on Switch. It was like 20 quid. It was not here.
Yeah.
I don't going up in price in the next 5 years. Put it that way.
True. So like Lexi said, we got Mario Party. She kept asking for it. I don't know if she's seen an advert. She really liked it because the cool thing is you can obviously when you choose your mode, you choose your players. Mario Party is Mario Party. I'm not reviewing this game. It's Mario Party. It's good. And like if you don't know what Mario Party is, it's a board game on your Switch, but you play as Mario.
Yep.
Quite
a simple board game, like the actual board game part of it.
Yeah.
You just roll dice and you go around the thing, like. But then you get the mini games. The mini games are the cool part.
So they've got like options. So it's like family, action, multi-box. You know, you choose what type you want, and I just chose family. Some of them were a bit difficult for Lexi, but the actual moving about the game was absolutely fine. So I'll maybe see if I can tweak the options and remove certain. It's more the ones, you know, imagine the ball's tilting and there's a shell. And you have to jump the shell to survive. Like,
Right.
Lexi's brain doesn't get that yet because it's like boom, 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 boom. And it's like, Daddy, where am I? And I'm like, you're the top left, pal. And she's like, what's left? Because she's 3. But
Yeah.
there was one she was really good at. And she got annoyed and she went, let's do it again. In my head, she went, let's run that back, Dad. I'm not letting you win that. That's what she was going like. She was like, no, I need to play that one again. And see, because I couldn't reload that minigame, she was like, I'm not playing anymore. Because in her head, she knew she should have beat me. And I wasn't really playing. Obviously, I wasn't really playing. She's 3. I'm not saying I'm good at video games, but she's 3. But she did really well for me not really trying. I was like, oh, I better catch up to make myself look better here. And, she was like, no, Dad, we're doing that one again. I went, I can't, Lexi. You need to land in a square and choose it. And it never came back. She took 2 turns and then she went, no. She was still in the mood, obviously, from losing the minigame. I can't remember what one it was, but she was really good at it. So Mario Party's fine. I got that actually as a leaving gift from my work, because obviously I start a new venture next week. But I got Amazon voucher and Switch voucher, and I've still not pulled this is Black Friday sale, Andy, and I've still not pulled the trigger. If anyone's watching and wants to leave a comment and tell me what to buy, like, it's not that I don't know what's good, it's just I've got like 40 British pounds or Scottish notes or whatever you want to say in a voucher sitting there, and I'm like, oh, what do I do? What do I play?
Like, is this on Amazon? It's on,
Amazon's long spent. Like, I bought my Amazon voucher's
Right.
long spent. On Switch, my choices that I had weighed up. Like, I thought Pikmin 3, I was really enjoying Pikmin 3, Andy, as you know. I was like, do you know what, this is good. And then the part of my brain came in that still kind of cares about achievements and is like, mate, you got a Wii U. go and buy it for a tenner. There's no achievements.
Yeah.
It's the same game. And I went, yeah, but it's the convenience. And it's like, but you spend 40 quid. And I looked it up. It's how long to beat. I'm like, 10. And I'm not saying this justifies how good a game is, but it was like 10 hours to beat it. I'm like, I can't
buy the exact same game for a tenner. Like,
I can buy the game for a tenner, like brand new. Well, not brand new, sorry, pre-owned. I'm like, I'm not going to do it. So then I was like, Xenoblade Chronicles, £33. It's down to
much longer.
much longer game, but it's like, well, I couldn't buy it on the Switch, and it looks a lot nicer. So here's the thing, here's the difference that I'm kind of tempted to Xenoblade Chronicles is, I bought it because it was the only game really over here that was 3DS, new 3DS.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Yeah.
So I had it.
One.
It was one of the. I think there's only one more game that came out over here, and I can't remember what it is. But there's only like 2 games that are new 3DS only, and it looked like shit because it was a port of a Wii game forced onto a small system, and it looked so blurry and muddy. But I'm like, I really like this cool fucking sword. I like this Shulk guy. I think Shulk's a stupid name because it sounds to me like a sort of hip hop version of She-Hulk. But like, like his name's shit. He should be, even if he's just called like Dave or something. Like, but Shulk, like, I like his sword. I like the whole story. I played like a few hours of it, and I'm like, this is cool. And then I watched a few reviews, obviously as you do buying a game, and it looks awesome. But I'm like, am I just going to buy this and it's just going to sit there? Probably. And the fact that I've said that means that I shouldn't spend £40. And I'm like, do you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to buy that Shin Megami Tensei 5. And then I looked at reviews, and even RGT, who kind of thinks alongside the way that I think, which is why I trust these reviews. I'm like, do you know what? I have no fucking interest in this game. Why am I spending £40 on it? Why would I? It's 50, so I'd have had to add a tenner to it. But I'm like, I ain't fucking getting this game. No way. So then I went, what if I buy Cruis'n Blast? Which I would play. But then I'm like, it's 20 quid, that's half the money gone. And Forza's out. And I haven't really played Forza.
Yeah, you don't need a racing game.
I don't need this just now. I said to myself, actually, if you wait till next year, this will be £15, never mind 20. So I've just got £40 sitting there, and I'm like, what the fuck am I need to use it because it's burning a hole through my virtual pocket. But I'm like, I need to buy something, Andy. And then I seen Monkey Ball, and I'm like, do I buy Monkey Ball? No, I'm not buying fucking Monkey Ball. And I was looking through everything. I'm just going through things that people have covered, obviously.
Why don't you just pre-buy Zelda? Can you pre-buy Zelda yet?
No, not yet, no. Or that would be a good idea, just put it towards Zelda. And that's Zelda Breath of the Wild 2 bought. But no, it's not in store yet because I don't even have a title. Splatoon 3's not there because that was my next. It wasn't Zelda at first. I was thinking, do you know what? Splatoon 3's probably going to be out by March. Right? Probably March, April. Because they said they wanted it out by the tax year from what I was reading in the investor call thing. Right. And like they've showed us gameplay, they've showed us even the campaign and the expansions and stuff already for Splatoon 3, so it's like good to go practically. But it's not even on the store, so I was like, do I want to pre-order that new Pokemon Legends Arceus game? No, because I don't like Pokemon enough. I've discovered, as I've said to you, I like Pokemon Red, Blue, Yellow, and Gold and Silver to a point, and then see anything that happened after that, I don't care. That's when they started with ice cream cones in the bin bags, and I'm like, no. This though, it looks like a complete change in the formula. So I've pre-ordered it on Amazon. It comes with like a Pokeball game card holder, and it comes with like other stuff. So I'm like, I would rather just pre-order that and then just trade it in if I don't like it. So I'm kind of stuck with £40 on the Switch that I can't spend at the moment, is the way that I'm seeing this just now. So unless you've got any suggestions that I should play something.
Shin Megami Tensei.
I said that earlier. I've literally just talked about that game. That everybody said it was good, and I'm like, I don't have time for an RPG of any sort.
I don't think you would like that game at all. I wouldn't do it.
I think I'd like Xenoblade, Andy, but am I going to give up on this? And I think the answer is yes. I'm going to give up on it pretty soon.
Yeah.
And then I've wasted
I think you should just keep it.
Just set it there. Yeah. I think that's the answer. Just sit it there, and then when Splatoon 3 release date gets announced, just throw it in that.
Yeah, just pre-order whatever like the next big game is that's coming out you want to buy, because there'll be early ones next year that you want within the first 3 months. So
Yeah, Nintendo always have big releases at the start of the year. Like between January, February, March, they do because they want to keep things ticking over till Christmas. And then, you know what Nintendo's like? They can, out of the blue, go, yeah, Nintendo Direct. Yeah, look at this game. It's out in 2 months. And you're like, what? Where the fuck did that come from? You fucking keeper of secrets, you. Because that's what happened with Metroid Dread. In the summer, they went, Metroid. And everyone's like, yes, Prime 4. And they're like, 5. And you're like, I remember even going, 2, 3, why? How 5? That confused the fuck out of me. And then I realised what they were doing. I'm like, alright. And then, when's it out? 2 months. How did this slip past the radar? Unreal the way Nintendo work. But yes, I think the option is keep it. So, aside from Halo, it's a Spider-Man kind of vibe this Christmas, Andy, as you know. So I downloaded Spider-Man, and then I downloaded Miles Morales. And Miles Morales looks 100 times better than Spider-Man. It really does. Graphically it does. And I'm playing the remastered, obviously, Spider-Man PS5 version. Miles knocks out the park. Like, I've loaded them up side by side in PlayStation. See what you like about Quick Resume. Quick Resume was something Xbox touted that doesn't exist once you've got a PS5, because PS5 swaps games like this. And I mean big games like Spider-Man. You can go boom, Spider-Man, boom, tick, 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 you're in Spider-Man, Peter plays Peter. I was swapping between them like that today, Andy, while Alexi was on her tablet. Spider-Man looks good. Miles has just polished it, man. Like, even the windows and everything, and like the whole thing. And I'm talking about, I've got them on the same, because performance over quality, every day I'll take the 60 FPS. It just, Miles looks superb. So I was like, there's not much to Miles because there was no DLC. So what did I do? And I think there was one stealth challenge I had to do. I had done the stealth challenge. I was like, you've 100% did everything. I got bling, 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 bling. I got all these trophies. I'm like, man, I really want to play as Miles, because you know me, I love Miles. I have since day one. I've never hated Miles Morales, ever. And I've not just jumped on the bandwagon. I liked him before he was cool. And I literally did. Like, see, when all of our friends were like, who the fuck, this can't be Spider-Man, he's going to die pretty soon. I was like, I love him. I need to play this again. So what I did, Andy, I started a new game plus. And
right, okay.
Do you know what? It's just perfect because we're just entering the holiday season. We're a few days away from December. And I'm like, I need that holiday mood. And I'm sorry, Disney Plus, but Home Alone 6 just ain't it. So, Miles Morales. I'm walking down the street as Miles. I'm not playing it the way I was, Andy. I zoomed through the first mission with Rhino, as you know. Sorry, spoilers if you've never played it. I'm walking about the streets. And do you know the honks and the total, like, the steam coming off, like the drains in America, as they do for some reason that they never do here. And just like the wee cafes and stuff, and like the Christmas things going on. I'm like, do you know what? This is getting me in the holiday spirit. But it's such a good game, man. I like the way Miles handles better than Peter, and I think it's amazing. Spider-Man, pardon the pun. Don't pardon it. I meant it. I think it's amazing the way that they've made two Spider-Men feel completely fucking different. Like, I played Edge of Time, and I can't remember the other one.
Shattered Dimensions.
Shattered Dimensions. Every Spider-Man felt the exact same. You loaded up a level, it was just a different costume. Really.
Pretty much. Yeah.
This though, you swing as Miles, he does not swing like Peter. You fight as Miles, he does not fight like Peter. It's like, this isn't talked about enough. What Insomniac did to create two distinct, and I don't just mean costumes or personality, two distinct Spider-Men in handling. Like, they made one incredible Spider-Man already, like in Peter Parker, and he felt quality, and then they've made Miles, and it's the subtle things that makes him feel not quite as mature as a superhero as Peter did in the first one. Like the way that he dives, the way that he sometimes stumbles, the way just wee things that he does, just, it's incredible what they've done. So I was playing quite a bit of those today, because when Lexi was ill, she just lied. She was off school today, she was just sitting on her tablet, and Lee was in his bed. So I was like, I'm playing Spider-Man, I ain't doing fuck all else. I've made dinner, and those games are a joy. So if you've not played Spider-Man on PS5, PS4, or Miles Morales, buy them. buy them now, right now. In fact, I'd say buy Miles over Peter, over the first one.
Or just buy the Ultimate Edition that gives you both.
Or that. I haven't played any. Oh, I did play a game, Andy. I played a game you said was going to be the best mobile phone game ever.
Oh, the Final Fantasy one. How is it? I didn't try it.
I played Final Fantasy the First
It's
Soldier. It is fucking awful. Awful.
Yeah.
So bad.
Why does it exist? That's my question.
It's a battle royale game. Like, you jump in as a soldier. You play as a soldier. It's called the First Soldier. And then you're just literally walking about Final Fantasy ass environments with Final Fantasy ass controls fighting other players. It's shit. Like, so bad. I don't know why it exists. I was playing it. I was like, do you know what the thing is? This is going to last in Japan for years and years and years. They're going to go crazy over this. And it's not because it's niche or kooky or cool or anything. It's just, I can tell that they're going to love it. And for me, I'm like, this is bad. I never played Final Fantasy VII Remake and ever thought, I wish there was 50 other people I could slash. Did you?
No.
That's
Never
what this
for
is,
one
Andy. With worse graphics, with worse controls. It's just, it's not good.
I mean, they're obviously trying to like big up the brand more. Like that's what they're trying with this, and they know battle royale's big in some circles, so they're going for it. Like Final
It's not
Fantasy battle royale game is not something that I would have ever said that I would have ever wanted. So, well, thank you. I'll give that one a miss.
You're the one that said it would be the best mobile phone game ever.
I know, but like most of what I was saying there was just a joke.
This is Final Fantasy VII, Andy. Canon.
I mean, I do think that the best mobile phone game ever, right, will be Final Fantasy VII when it comes to mobile.
It's on
You know,
mobile.
the kind of chibi version they're making, the remake version of it, chibi.
Oh yeah, they're doing like Final Fantasy 15. They're doing 7.
Yeah,
I don't think that'll be the best. Because do you know why? Because the original Final Fantasy 7's on mobile and it's better.
But this is like, I think this one's going to be better because it's the whole thing.
100%. Timestamp this. Andy, 24th of November 2021, you talk shit. Right? Write that down somewhere. Come back and listen to this and go, fuck, I was so wrong. Listen to what I said. And then you can waffle on. The original Final Fantasy VII. I'll say that once again loud for the folk at the back. The original Final Fantasy VII is available on mobile in its complete form. And Andy, this guy here, believes that the chibi remake of the remake is going to be better than the original Final Fantasy VII.
Because you
Shit.
can have Crisis Core in it. Crisis Core is going to be in it. And Dirge is going to be in it. Like, that, because the Final Fantasy VII complete package, give it to me. I will play that one. The First Soldier, I might try it. Like, I was kind of interested until they showed it was a battle royale game. Like, and that just turns me all the way off. Like, I wish they would do other things, and because Final Fantasy should not have a battle royale. That doesn't make any sense. But yeah, I mean, does it at least look nice? Ali can tell us when he comes back over. If it at least looks nice, then that'll be something. Yeah. Okay, well.
I mean,
it's all
my phone's a year old. It's like the iPhone 12 Pro Max. Like, everything's set to high automatically on my phone, and no, it looks horrible.
well, that sucks. Well, I'll
Do you know what
download it.
looks
In fact, I
better?
should've-
The PSP win Crisis Core.
Wow.
Crisis
Yeah,
Core.
like I didn't play anything else. I'm looking forward to playing that. I've been looking at buying a Saturn. That's what I'm looking for.
Oh yeah, you definitely need to. What did I play as well? No, nothing. Just Spider-Man. I was thinking I got my PlayStation 5 down for something. It was because I wanted to play Spider-Man. No, Xbox. I haven't played. Did I play something on Switch? No, I just spent most of my week on the Switch eShop going, nah. But I think, the best conclusion is Splatoon 3 when it comes and just throw it on that. Because,
Or you could buy an 64 game.
no. No.
Fair enough.
Because if I wanted to play Ocarina, the 3DS version's better. Because it's a remaster. Like, it's nicer looking. And it plays well. And if I wanted to play Majora, same thing again. And if I wanted to play Mario 64, well, I've got it on my Mario collection. And Star Fox, again, you can finish that game in, 3 hours did I finish? Remember that time I played Star Fox in the DS and I'd never played it before? It's like, oh yeah, this is balls. They need to do a new one. There's nothing that makes me want to play it. Yoshi's Story, really, was it that good? Not enough to spend that money on it.
I played a little bit. I didn't like the old stereo.
E-A-O, E-A-O. I remember that being the title music, and my wee cousin had it in Edinburgh, and I finished it, and I had the black Yoshi, the white Yoshi. I remember unlocking them all. Do you know what? No. I have no need for it. And the Mega Drive, I've got the Mega Drive collection, and a Mega Drive.
Yeah. And you've got a better Mega Drive than the normal Mega Drive. So.
True. Say the Mega SG. Sorry. Yeah, I've got nothing to spend my money on just now. Absolutely nothing. I considered WarioWare, but I don't know if that's a single player game or like a have a drink after coming back for the club with a kebab game.
Yeah, I think it's a multiplayer game.
I mean, I had
But
WarioWare
it reminds me
before.
of a game on. It reminds me from watching the gameplay of it. It reminds me of a game on the Vita called Frobisher Says that I had a lot of fun with. So I would probably like this.
WarioWare I had on the DS years and years ago, and it was fun. It was like stop the finger, and you had to stop at the nose, and it picked the nose. It's like well done, and then it's got like fucking the first level of Mario, but you have to shoot him through like the Metroid cannon and stuff. Like,
I mean, it sounds kind of fun to be fair. Like really short mini games.
but
like
is that worth
Sounds
40 quid? How often am I going to play it? No, it's not worth 40 quid.
20, 25 quid maybe.
It's
I would
pretty
say.
new, so I think in the Black Friday sale on Amazon just now, I think it's about 30. But yeah. Anyway, I haven't played anything else really at all. Had some fun with Spider-Man, Miles Morales. Had some fun with Halo. But because I put so much time into Halo this week, I didn't really get to play anything else. So for next week, I honestly don't have any plans. I might polish off some more bits and pieces because Spider-Man's always pissed me off because I platinumed that. I didn't intentionally platinum it. I just ended up doing all the things, and then I was like, it's 2 away, and these things sound fun. I'm going to do it. Oh, 2 away. I'm being generous. It's probably 8 or something away. But like, I loaded them up, and I'm like, do you know what? I've realised they've locked me out of some suits as well in the next gen version. Like I didn't need to, but I like doing my stealth missions with the stealth suit on for Spider-Man or the noir suit, and I like doing my base missions. You know when you do the base and it's like you've got your 3 tiers and it's take out the base. I like putting on the Iron Spider one, and every time I go for the one from the comics, as you know, the red with the gold. Tonight I decided to go for the MCU Iron Spider suit because it's been in every trailer for No Way Home. Which I think's bullshit because that suit was destroyed and Tony Stark's dead. I'm just saying, I think that's CGI for Andrew Garfield and Tom Holland at that point. But
He wears it in Far From Home. So
I thought it got destroyed.
I mean, I can't remember if it got destroyed in Far From Home. I don't think so because he definitely wears it in a lot of that movie.
Does Mysterio not actually destroy it by the end fight and he's got like half a mask on like Tobey Maguire sort of thing when they're on the bridge? Pretty sure that
I only
happens.
watched a wee bit of it earlier, so I'll report back next week because
But this is the thing, like you can look at those 3 movies, none of them are good Spider-Man movies.
Which
2
ones?
movies. Far From Home and Homecoming. They're not good Spider-Man movies.
Homecoming's not great. I think Far From Home is fucking brilliant. I loved it.
It was not good. It was not a good movie. Homecoming's better than Far From Home, easily, because they're on a bus. There's like, see if you add up all the times when it goes to a panning shot of the bus, that's 20 minutes of your fucking film. Fuck off. They go in a fucking outward bound centre. He's what's amazing?
Mysterio is amazing. Nick Fury
Mysterio is
in the
good.
movie.
He's nowhere near as good as the Green Goblin that's coming into the next movie. Like, William Dafoe's Green Goblin's the best Spider-Man villain in all the Spider-Man movies.
Probably William Dafoe's good. I really liked Mysterio though. Like,
Mysterio was
really,
good.
Really liked him.
Mysterio was good. That's it.
He was probably my favorite of all the villains.
But did I say to
Spider-Man
you?
villains I've had.
Did I say to you
Oh,
though
no.
that this is a bad Mysterio movie, or did I say that this isn't a very good Spider-Man movie?
No, I liked it. Do you know what? Do you know what it is? It's Iron Man 2. That's what it is.
It's because of the retcon of Iron Man.
No. I mean, like the way that they did Iron Man, like was all a big setup for like other shit, like for Avengers and everything, because they put
Yeah.
Fury in it.
Why the fuck
This
does
movie-
Spider-Man, who shouldn't be an Avenger anyway, be a setup movie for the Avengers and their fuddites? Like,
Well, it wasn't.
why do I need
it
to see
was not-
Spider-Man on a bus in Europe? Why is Spider-Man on a fucking bus? He's Spider-Man. Shouldn't he be in the neighbourhood worrying about things like Doc Ock, like Electro? Yeah, it's coming. But guess what? It's not even coming from Tom Holland's universe because it's that shit for Spider-Man to live there. He has to bring them all over from other universes so he's got the good heroes to fight against.
Have you heard the rumor? Like, we'll
I've heard
talk
of
about this and I go wrap up. Have you heard about this thing with Mysterio? Right. So
The whole thing
See-
with Mysterio.
the whole thing's Mysterio, right? And Mysterio's been in the Spider-Man original trilogy movies, and it was because you know the same character is in the movie.
Mysterio wasn't.
Played by Bruce Campbell. Bruce Campbell's in all 3 movies,
He was not Mysterio.
or was he? Because
He
in the first movie,
was not
first-
Mysterio.
he's in the first movie he's the ring referee or the ring announcer in the wrestling. In the second movie, he is the usher that doesn't let him in.
No, but I'll tell you the theory I heard in a minute.
Third movie, he's the guy who's in the restaurant who's got a ring in the champagne glass.
No, you're right. Tell me why you think that's...
Because it's all Mysterio. He's a,
No.
Why else would it be?
Have you read any comics ever?
Yes, many.
Cool.
I actually just read one. Mysterio
That's all I asked.
last
I
night.
didn't. No one asked anymore. So, next question: did you read any Mysterio?
Yeah,
You did?
Yeah, Mysterio.
Has Mysterio ever been a world-ending villain? No. 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 He's not even an Avengers calling villain. So, here's what I heard, which is more likely if that is true. Mysterio is something to do with No Way Home, right? But
Yeah, definitely.
But the Bruce Campbell thing, what I heard, have you seen the scene where Spider-Man's walking with MJ and they're kind of huddled together and he's getting booed and there's all the signs with the crowd? Have you seen the sign with the devil?
Devil, yeah.
Right, so
Was it
Mephisto.
Mephisto?
Yeah.
Right. Okay. I could accept that.
I could see Bruce Campbell playing Mephisto.
Yeah, that would be cool, Joe. I think it makes sense because like Sam Raimi's obviously been involved with this because he's directing the next Doctor Strange movie, and Doctor Strange is in this in a big way, so he's going to be involved in this. Bruce Campbell is in this fucking movie, I'm telling you.
Oh, I agree, but I don't think it's Mysterio. Mysterio is, you're lowballing it.
It needs to be like it's a higher power.
Because
Right, fair enough.
think of every time, or 2 times that I can recall, that Spider-Man's wanted everyone's mind wiped. It was Mephisto he went to. Like, bring back MJ, Mephisto, make a deal with the devil. Make everyone forget. It was Mephisto, deal with the devil. I want to relive
Yeah.
my wedding. Mephisto, deal with the devil. The other theory as well. Sorry, we will wrap this up. I know we started with Marvel, when with Marvel. Doctor Strange is acting kind of weird, do you not think? For the Sorcerer Supreme, kicking about in a house coat and fucking snows in his house. And he's like, yeah, fuck it, I'll make everyone forget Spider-Man.
Yeah.
What? That's not something you would just frivolously do. So folk are saying that he's actually elsewhere dealing with the cracks in the multiverse Loki actually created, if you remember. It was him. But the problem is they need to show that in a big screen thing because not every person will go and watch Loki. They'll watch the film though. So they need to show the multiverse cracking across multiple things. However, it was Loki that caused it. So what if... train of thought gone. Mind wipe.
Doctor Strange, wipe your mind.
Yeah. Watch that trailer again, Andy. In fact, just now, do you think that sounded like Doctor Strange as we've seen him?
Oh no, I don't think so.
Do you not think that could be Mephisto?
Some parts of what you see, yes, but some other parts, I'm like,
That's out of character.
yeah,
Or final theory.
could be a scroll.
No, the scrolls. No. It was Agatha all along.
Oh my god! Snap! That's it. Done. Game over.
When's Doctor Strange 2 out anyway?
Next year. May, I think it is.
No, it got delayed. Again.
Was it June maybe or July then? I can't remember.
I also
Next
heard
year.
that got delayed again because it's wrapped. Because Sony wanted something added. It might have been Morbius. So that Morbius could maybe have the scene of bringing him to the MCU, because then that would kind of kickstart Blade. Because we're not vampires in the world of the MCU at the moment. Well, our world we've seen most of.
Well, no, Blade was in Eternals, so we do.
What did it look
Vampires
like?
are, yeah. I mean, he was just a voice, disembodied voice.
So you haven't, again, back to my point, you haven't seen him in any of the... So where do you think where do you think Spider-Man No Way Home's going? Do you still stand by your Mysterio theory now, or do you realise, oh no, I wasn't thinking that he's not a world-ending threat? Because he isn't. You know he's not.
I mean, I think Mysterio's involved in some way, shape, or form. Like, I don't think it's Mephisto though. I don't think he's involved.
What about my thinking though that Venom is involved and not Sinister Six? I think Venom's involved helping Spidey. And what about these shots with the trailer? Sorry, I know we said it finished up. We'll give it 5-10 minutes. What do you think about these parts in the trailer where it looks like Sandman and Electro are fighting each other rather than Spider-Man? Because there are parts where it looks like that.
I don't know about them two fighting, but I think that the
Or do you think
I
Doc
think
Ock helps him?
Electro-
That's another one.
Electro definitely fights Doc Ock, because I think Doc Ock is sometimes a good guy in some way.
No, Doc Ock is a good guy, if you remember, because this version it sees arms that
that are
possess him.
bad, yeah.
So, from what it looks like, these guys are plucked out from the moment of their death, or so we're led to believe. Do you think this is exactly Sam Raimi's Octopus, or just another version? Because before he fell to his death, he saved everyone. He turned good.
Yeah, he pulled the reactor thing down into the water.
And
That was
Electro,
good, yeah.
before he died, was just a dick. So we've got another Electro. So these might not be specifically Sam Raimi and whoever the fuck, Andrew Webb, I think that was his name, made the Amazing Spider-Man. These might not be those versions that we're seeing. These just might be other versions played by the same actors that were in those movies. And I think the same applies to if Maguire and Garfield appear.
They're definitely in the movie. I think it's hilarious. Like, I watched a bunch of interviews.
Have you seen
of,
Andrew
like, people-
Garfield's face? He's like... You can
Yeah,
see him
so-
looking down when he's answering.
His ones were so funny because, like, the last one, the question, they're very directed, and he answers no every time, right? He's like, no, but he says no. I didn't get a call.
And I said it's an email we
I didn't
got.
get a call. Yeah, I'm like, it's an email, or like someone WhatsApped him, or like whatever. Like they sent him a telegram or a fucking fax. So, like,
Yeah, every time he responds, all he says is, I didn't get a call. There's some he doesn't say no. There's some he just says, I didn't get the call.
Yeah, I didn't get the call.
Which means he get emailed. And that's what he'll
sometimes
come out
he's
saying.
He's like, they might call me, yeah. Like when it's like older ones, he's like, oh, they might still call me. But like he always answers, I didn't get the call, which just means they emailed him. Because he's fucking there.
And
Like, we've
Tobey
seen that
Maguire's
movie.
not promoting movies, so he's not in the interview circuit just now, whereas Andrew Garfield's got other films out just now.
Like I watched some YouTube videos like over the last week about that leaked footage, and like,
It's
he
real.
said, like, Andrew Garfield said it was a Photoshop. He's like, it's a Photoshop.
You don't get Photoshop in video.
No, you don't. But like, what the idea? Like, I can understand why you might say that because like you might not understand the making of it, whatever.
Yeah, but that video,
Basically-
what he said to Jimmy Fallon was, I've never heard of it. And then he goes, actually, I have seen it. And it's like, but you just made out like you didn't know what you're talking about. And then you've went, I have seen it, and it was a Photoshop. And it's like, no,
Yeah.
you just said,
Basically-
what picture?
Basically, What people said was like that it was a deep fake.
It's not, because I've watched a
Like-
video with guys deep faking it, and they said
Yeah.
it's impossible to have deep faked it that way, because they went in and it showed you the shadows in their eyes. It showed you the Tom Cruise one where you see different reflections in his eye. They show you how deep fakes. Is that the video you watched as well? Like, and my mind was blown. I was like, oh my god! And they looked up and they went, there is no way to deep fake this the way that it's been shot. They went, the angle that this is shot at, and he clearly says, you have web blood. Like, I've watched it so many times now, and web blood, Tobey Maguire's webs come out his arms. And if you look at the scene that's been leaked, the scaffolding is from that scaffolding scene. And it's also like, they pointed out, they also pointed out, where's the best, they pointed out people saying it was fake because of the high quality camera. And what they're saying is, Disney and Marvel aren't stupid. Where's the best place to leak from but your own studios to go, here you go, let's put it out as a leak. Ubisoft have been doing it for years with Assassin's Creed to gather interest on it, you know, to get intel. It would not surprise me, because this is so high quality. It's not even recorded off a monitor or sideways or on a potato phone. It's direct footage of Andrew Garfield doing this and going, and they looked at his hair, they looked at his movement, his hair and his wrinkles match up to Andrew Garfield's age now, and they said even if you took Andrew Garfield from Spider-Man, it didn't fit. His hair and everything was completely different. So they're like, there is no way this could have been deep faked. And then they pretended that the video was sponsored by Marvel and they done this whole thing. And I'm like, no, keep talking. And that was like a half-hour video, and I'm like, I need to know more.
Video,
so those
I
guys
enjoyed
were
that
good.
video.
But
I can't remember what channel it was, but like look it up and you find
But
it.
yeah, that is real footage. Whether that scene's ever going to be used in the movie or not, it's a different thing, because sometimes they don't use these. But that is real filming from the set. Like, they said there is no scene that they've looked up Andrew Garfield and he's kind of new to it, so they would have found something that linked up with the way he looked. But they said the shadows in his nose, shadows in his mouth. They said the only thing that looked a bit odd was the tongue in his mouth. But to get that right, they would have had to have took scans of Andrew Garfield's tongue over the years to manage to match it up to the way he spoke. So they think it was just a mistake. But they said that's the only thing they seen that was wrong, was his teeth that looked like they were moving. But nah, Andrew Garfield's in it. Tobey Maguire's in it as well, but he's lucky he's not promoting a movie, because he's not out doing interviews. Andrew Garfield's got like 2 or 3 films. He's got a couple of Netflix or something. He's every interview from, like, there was a version of Loose Women in America or something. They were like, so we've got to ask you, just confirm it here, are you Spider-Man? He's like, I am Spider-Man. And they're like, oh, thank you. And he's like, but I'm not in the new one.
Yeah.
But Andrew Garfield's my favourite.
He's obviously under like a major NDA. He's not like.
And most of them are, except like Michael Keaton, who doesn't even fucking understand multiverse, who doesn't give a shit. He came out in an interview and said, yeah, I'm filming Vulture stuff today, and got into trouble for it. Because they all sign it in a contract. But when you get to Michael Keaton's age, you're already Batman and you're the Vulture. Do you give a shit? You're like, what are you going to do, sack me at this point? I'm the cool part of your trailer. Like,
Yeah.
so he came out and said that he was doing Vulture filming, and like, I can't remember who it was. It was maybe Jimmy Fallon. One of them turned around and said, are you sure you can be sharing this? Because they're all NDA, but here's my my thing about the NDA. I don't believe Tom Holland leaked as much as you thought. Like, leaked as much that it was. I think Tom Holland was told to act like that to gain hype, because if you watch any of the leaked Tom Holland videos,
It's like him reacting to the trailer or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he comes
He's
out
like,
and says
"Oh."
something.
He seems surprised about. I can't remember what it was, but he was surprised about something.
And I'm like, nah, but he did something else as well. And I'm like, but they always make out that, you know, Tom Holland was worse at keeping secrets. I think one time Tom Holland said something he wasn't meant to, and they took the script away from him, because I know that they did film different. Robert Downey Jr. wasn't in the scene with Tom Holland with Iron Man. He didn't know who he was talking to. Like, the characters' names weren't written in his script. But
Yeah.
I think they played on that a bit more than, you know, to gain interest. Because everyone, a leak spoiler. Things you won't know about Spider-Man. These are clickbait sort of headlines. And
Like the hype for this movie's like built so much in the last few weeks. Like since that second trailer came out, like.
why is it every time they do a Spider-Man 3, though, they seem to feel the need to throw every villain under the sun into it? Why?
This one has more villains than Spider-Man 3. Like,
But they've got 3 films worth of Spider-Man to back them up. Do you know what would be a cool nod to the past? If they brought out fucking Spider-Man Power Ranger, you know, Birth of the Power Rangers, you know they bought the Spider-Man from Japan. You know the guy I mean.
Oh, okay. Yeah, right,
The Sentai, where he had the giant robot.
Yeah.
See if they brought that in as a wee nod. That'd be fucking amazing when all the timelines are crossing. Because that was only other live action Spider-Man before this one.
That would be funny. I don't think they will do that.
They might.
Maybe.
It's not like they
Anyway,
don't.
we better-
We better finish up.
Yeah.
Well, thank you very much for tuning in, watching, listening, and all these things. I don't fucking want my Omniblade replica. Can I just say, fuck BioWare? Not BioWare, you lovely people. Keep making your stuff. I know we're finishing, and I am finishing. I ordered 2020, over a year ago, the legendary cache from Mass Effect. I get told in July it was shipping. Haven't heard anything since July, Andy. I messaged them 2 days ago saying, where the fuck's my order? Like, honestly, at this point, it's like $224 is what I've paid, which is about, what, £180 with shipping, obviously. Where the fuck is it? And they're like, oh yeah, it must be lost. Will a full refund do? That's literally the answer I got. And I'm like, what? I was literally reading my email like this. I don't know what to say. Yes, just give me my fucking money back. Like, I didn't even question it or ask or anything. I just went, I'm just looking for an update. And they went, must be lost. Do you want your money back? There's something that's happened, Andy, that they know about. Because they wouldn't just jump straight to that. No company would. And then I emailed them about my Omniblade, and they said, your light up Omniblade replica is still confirmed and processing in our system. They are scheduled to ship out next month. Why the fuck do I want the Omniblade if I don't have the helmet? Which you can now no longer provide me, and is at least twice the price on eBay. BioWare. Like, that's bullshit to me. I pre-ordered in plenty time. Plenty time. But anyway, don't use the BioWare gear shop. It never comes some cool stuff, and I love BioWare, but that is fucking bullshit to me. Pre-ordered, paid it a year ago, and now you're like,
It never came.
never came, and then they're like, yeah, it's lost. Can't be fucked doing my job today. Do you want your money back? Not really, but I'll take it, because on eBay, like I said, they're going for 400 odd fucking pounds. No, I'm not paying £400.
Just wait. You'll get them cheaper down the line.
Oh yeah, a few years down the line I'll probably get it cheaper. But anyway, thank you very much for tuning in and watching. Apologies for me going, but thank you very much for Lexi for joining us. She was an awesome guest. Our longest
special guest.
Her longest podcast appearance yet.
Yes.
She wasn't overly. I think it was funny the way that she was kind of looking at me and like nodding along and answering things when I'm like trying to. It's just funny. Sometimes what she'll do is she'll set up her tablet and I'll put the camera on. She'll pretend she's YouTube, but it's not like that. She'll be like, "Hi guys, I'm Lexi, and I'm going to talk to you," and she'll do all that stuff. But see the way that she was sitting in my knee there and nodding along, going, "Yeah, I liked it too." And she was leaning into the mic a couple of times, which I thought was hilarious. But anyway, thank you very much, Lexi, for joining us. Hope you're feeling a bit better tomorrow. I'm getting a sore throat now. Andy had to prop up this show with his backbone for a good half hour in the middle, but thank you very much for doing that, and we will catch you all maybe Friday, maybe, we're still getting news to cover, probably next Tuesday if we're really being honest, but thank you very much.